Hey, what the? We made it. Whew. Good damn. I hope. Oh well, it's Monday. Excellent. It's Monday. Let's have a look. What's this? The live notification seemed to work. We have now have a live notification in the Iznib Show Discord. A few people mentioned that would be useful for them. Get a notification through Discord when we go live, because obviously I'm never on time. Rather than seeing it through Twitch or anything else, etc. So if you are a member of that Discord, the channel's Discord, and you would like that notification turned on, do let me know. I've made it so it's a role that you have to have, that I have to give you. I could add it as a reaction role somewhere, maybe, but I feel we don't have enough members at the moment to kind of justify that. I thought it was the easiest way, because most people don't want to see that. Some people do, most people do not. So yeah, let me know. Also, I'm not. Again, I think this is just my account, and Twitch has done this forever. So I set up a currently streaming. Oh, here's what I need to do. There we go. I saw Garuda had it the other day, so it's definitely working. It doesn't seem to work for me, so I think it's a me problem. But I guess within the channel's Discord, it doesn't matter, because you get a notification anyway. Squidge, happy Monday to you, Squidge. How you doing, my dear? How was Comic-Con? Is it one in Wales? Am I recalling correctly? You're cold. I'm about to die. I'm sweating out. Yeah, I don't know. It's not pleasant out there. It doesn't feel cold to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just got out of a cold shower. Maybe I'll give me like 2 hours and I'll be get a hoodie on. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, I know you're sensitive to subtle changes in temperature, Squidge. So just staying in there. Excellent. I'm glad you had Pipkin with you. Loop earplugs. What? Because it's so noisy, you put earplugs in, so you're not getting like stressed out. So I wasn't expect. I don't think I've heard that sentence before. There we go. There you go. It's first for everything. Triple X hoodie. Yeah, there we go. Blanket with sleeves. Look, whatever you need to do, Squidge, look after yourself. I fully endorse it. Even if I was wearing that right now, oh my god, I'll be getting proper juicy in here. No, that's fair. That's fair, Squidge. Right, yeah. Just the crowds and the amount of people. Well, I you know, I feel like I can't respect you anymore, Squidge. But not that is there's no more measure of respect I can give for you. Not I can't respect you anymore. You wear earplugs, Squidge? Oh, I thought you were awesome, but you're obviously not. Right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the fact that is an issue you're aware of, but you're like, look, I have to do this. This is important for my business. So let's man up, get those plugs in my ear holes, and let's go. So so when you get people approach your table, do you you whip them out, or can you like hear when people are stood in front of you talking at you directly? Just yeah, I've never been to a Comic-Con specifically, but like, you know, big kind of shows or halls where there's like stalls and there's like presentations over there, and there's like hundreds, thousands of people wandering around talking. You know, it's just like you've got the buzz of like you can partially hear like 100 different conversations that are going on at the same time. And it's like I don't need to be hearing this. This is not a pleasant thing I need to be engaging with. Yeah, no, I know you didn't. Okay. Interest. That's so fucking cool. I don't know that. Do they? That's amazing. Yeah, I think I feel I understand that feeling, but maybe I'm much less affected by it. Yeah, supermarkets don't, stores don't bother. I guess I'm pretty good at blocking it out. Yeah, I know, Cage. If it's up to me, I'll just load up. I'd start on the game, Cage. If it's up to me, who even needs to see my face? Let's just have the game. Whoever needs to hear my voice, let's get rid of the mic. Let's just have the game. I'll just be a no mic streamer, which sounds wild, isn't it? But I have, I've seen them around, and and that's as long as they're enjoying themselves. It's hard to have any kind of viewer engagement like that, but each their own. Yeah, exactly. It depends on the game, Cage. But yeah, I'm inclined to. I noticed recently in Baldur's Gate, and some games it doesn't matter to me. I just know that there's some of our regulars, Cage, who they particularly like my stupid face making stupid noises, sounds coming out of the stupid face. They like that. Some of them even like it so much that they prefer it to video games, which I know you and me were like that. Well, those people are crazy. That's some crazy people right there. But look, this world takes all types. We shouldn't judge. Crazy people are also allowed to exist and interact and be in society, along with refined debonair gentlemen like myself and yourself, Cage. So let's not judge. But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. But how you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I'm good. I didn't sleep very well last night. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but right. Okay, yeah. It would do my head in, Squidge. I don't know. I don't know what it is in me, or I'm not saying you're not tough, because you're brave. You're dealing with it, but I think I've just been in many different situations. Like, I was like Red. I remember times I've been like the Reading Festival. You got 100,000 plus people just wandering around. And I've been there for periods on my own, just wander around on my own. Whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know. But I feel like I've kind of built some kind of tolerance to it. But I do understand the feeling where it's not pleasant. It's not fun. Peace and quiet is so underrated. No, Squidge, he wasn't. I'll say for whatever reason. I kind of got in a argy-bargy with some dickhead, 20 minutes before I was due to go to bed last night. Weak human beings. I feel I've got a very strong sense of what is right and wrong in this world, and how one should behave towards other human beings. But there's some people who, it's not like they will listen to my philosophy and go, oh, I agree with your philosophy. I don't want to engage with it. I can't. That's too much for me, Iznib. But I do understand where you're coming from when I see it. They just dismiss it. It's very frustrating. No, it was on Final Fantasy 11. Some guy being a dickhead. Which now, obviously, my reaction is, okay, you want to be a dickhead? Now it's very late for me, but you can call me on Discord tomorrow, and you could be a dickhead to my face. That's the least you can do, because guys know how I feel about this. The internet isn't a different realm. It isn't not reality. Anything you say live streaming on Twitch, as a Twitch viewer in somebody's chat, on Discord, on any social media, on a message board, on YouTube comments, anywhere on the internet, you should never say something to anybody, good or bad, that you are not willing to say to them if that person was stood right there in front of you. Because if you do, you are fundamentally a coward. Now, in my philosophy, being a coward is one of the worst things to be. Like, you know, I'm not saying you have to be brave all the time. There's things I don't want to engage with in real life. Sometimes I've forced myself in my life and I've been brave and I've stepped up to the plate. And other times I've shied away from it. But fundamentally, do not say something to someone if you can't back it up. Now, I don't mean get in a fight with them, but I mean put your actual vocal cords, your actual sound of your voice, and your face out there to say, look, this is what I believe, and I believe in it strongly enough that here I am saying it. Obviously, this guy is like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. And, you know, it's like, well, you know, you're being disrespectful to me, but you actually don't have any balls to actually be disrespectful to me. So essentially, you're just a keyboard warrior. You know, you're a troll. You're an internet troll. So obviously, this was like how it happened like 15 minutes before I went to bed last night. So kind of kept me up a little bit thinking about it. Anyway, I literally went to bed at the usual time after this incident that just happened. Yeah, I basically got up to pee twice before I'd even got to sleep. The second time I came back from peeing, I was like, looked at the time, it was like 6 a.m. I was like, fuck's sake, I've been trying to get to sleep for 3 hours. This is insane. I did eventually fall asleep, and I don't feel too bad for it, but it is what it is. Anyway, that was the rant today, folks. Roots! Just people being disrespectful. And again, the crux of it, everyone has a right to say, think, and feel whatever they want. But at least have the honesty, the decency, the human decency to back it up, to put yourself out there, to be like, this is what I believe. I believe what you did is wrong and you're a dickhead. Okay, you're allowed to believe that. But if you haven't got the stones to say it to my face, then you're a coward and you are less. You are literally less. And it's like, if the response is, yeah, I see what you're saying, you know, and, you know, I am a coward, okay, but whatever, you're still a dickhead, and then they run away, okay, fair enough, but the denial of that philosophy, just like, no, I'm in the right, no, this is what everybody else does, so this is the right thing to do. Honor and integrity are not ephemeral concepts. They are part of the physical matter makeup of the universe. In some weird way. I bet my eternal soul on it. It's not that it doesn't matter. It's not that it's not an actual thing. Now you can acknowledge it and rail against it and be like, fuck integrity, fuck honor, I'm here to be a bad guy. I want to be a baddie. It's fun to do bad things and hurt people and not give a shit. I don't care about those good things. That's a perfectly reasonable position. Yeah, I'm not against that position, but it's a perfectly reasonable position to take. But to go through this existence pretending that honor and integrity are not real things, that we're just in a soup of chaos and nothing matters. Nothing matters at all. Nothing has any meaning at all. No, sir. That is bullshit. Anyway, you might be. I don't recommend Cage being a bad guy. I think we should not be bad guys. But at least I can respect a bad guy who knows they're a bad guy and is like, I'm a bad guy, and they're honest about it and they don't give a shit. But bad guys running around being like, no, things I'm not doing are bad. It doesn't matter if people get hurt because nothing's real anyway. Nothing means anything. It's like, nah. Anyway, sorry, that was my rant for today. So yeah, that kind of disturbed my sleep a little bit thinking about that, Squidge, because I'm allowed to be a good guy, but I'm also kind of an intense guy. And yeah, this bro's like, his response is, "You think it makes you a man to have a conversation on Discord?" And then my response was, "No, not at all. But I think if you are not willing to put your voice, auditory voice, not typed voice, and your face, your physical form, to your opinions, then your opinions carry less weight." And I do believe that. Doesn't mean people have to be getting out there. You don't have to be putting your opinions out into the world. But again, fundamentally, the golden rule is don't say anything to anybody on the internet that you're not willing to say to their face if they were physically stood there right in front of you. That's it. That's what you got to do. Anyway. It's fun. Breathe a sigh of relief. So no, the cat wasn't a problem. Although the cat is a problem, Squidge, in the sense that she just sleeps on top of stairs. So when I go out in the dark on the landing in the middle of the night, I have to be very careful not to step on her. Because I've done that years ago and she didn't like it. And obviously, if you're a cat, you don't want a human stepping on you. You slept overnight, Cage? What do you mean you slept overnight? You're not supposed to. You're supposed to stay up all night. Okay, mic stand, setting things up. Well, don't lose sleep over it, Cage. Yeah, it kills me as well, Squidge. You know, I remember going to the London Tattoo Convention. So weird. I'm there to get tattooed by a tattoo artist who resides in Italy. There's no practical way for me to get over to Italy. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Of the general public who attend the London Tattoo Convention, I would say about 95% of them are not there to get tattooed. They're just, and it's not for me to judge what people are into, but they're just looky-loos. They just like come in and they just so I'm sat there getting tattooed, as like a couple of other dozen, maybe 100 people are as well. And you it's like you're at a convention. There's people like 6 feet away from you, just constant, like all day for hours, just walking by, just staring at you while you're getting tattooed. And I'm like, I'm not. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. It's like, it's not for me. It's like, I'm fucking tired anyway, because I've got to travel up to London on my own, and I'm getting tattooed, and I'm going to a place on my own, full of strangers that I've never been before, to get tattooed. So I've probably not slept well anyway. Very anxiety inducing. And I'm kind of like a more kind of and I'm not like a small talk kind of guy. I can rant and rave, obviously, and you engage me in a conversation. Someone's like, "Oh, so Iznib, tell me your thoughts on One Piece." I'll be like, "Okay, cool. Strap in. 3-hour lecture coming up right now. Welcome to my TED Talk." So, but with all like the kind of the tiredness. Physical pain, which obviously I feel that I can handle getting tattooed pretty well compared to the average person, and particularly on your hand, it doesn't really hurt. I find getting your hands tattooed. But yeah, you sat there for like 4, 5, 6 hours, and you just constantly got hundreds, thousands of people just walking by you all day, just staring at you, like you're some kind of like a museum exhibit. So I totally get it, Squidge. I would be like, I don't even want to be here. I'm not here for a jolly. I'm not here to hang out with my buddies. I'm not here to impress anyone. Like the guys who like walk around with their shirts off, they're not there to get tattooed. They're like, hey, look at my shit tattoos in my physically unfit body. And like, nobody wants to see that body. Just desperate for attention. Some of us are here on a mission. Some people live their life like a mission. Because you're just swanning around doing nothing. That's okay. That's fine. Anyway. Point being, I totally get it, Squidge. I understand that feeling. They just like, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, and the physical exertion, lack of sleep and all the rest of it does your number on you. So I'm kind of trying to catch up here. I didn't want to Squidge to think I'd not addressed her comment there. Billy, who's Billy? Ignore Billy, Cage. No, that's just my opinion. Because it's like a problem, isn't it? Because it creates so much bullshit when people are... You know, if someone's disrespectful to you in real life, and I don't like that term, I say physical life. Let's try and adopt that term. Because the internet is real. This is real. It's all digital, but it's real. It's real people having real conversations. You know, that can be scary and a horrible prospect, but at least it's honest. If someone's going to be unpleasant to you on the internet, but they're not... It's like it's throwaway. They're not willing to risk anything to do that. You know, it's a weakness. It's a flaw. It's a character flaw. It's a weakness of character, and that's all we got in this life, folks. The strength of your own self, your own personal spirit, and how it interacts with this universe. That's all you got. You're born with nothing. You're gonna die with nothing. This is what all you got. This is what you're gonna have after the fact, in my opinion. You're diminishing your own spirit by behaving in that fashion. It's not my it's not, you know, on me to save anybody, but obviously, you know, I guess throughout my life I've mostly been disliked by people. Mostly for no particular reason, no justifiable reason, just because I am different. So I'm used to that, and I don't have a problem with that. I'm fine being the odd one out. I'm fine having people give me funny looks and, you know, whispering shit behind my back. Okay, but just, you know, anyway. So yeah, it's a problem, Squidge, but it's fine. That sounds very much like my sleep that I had today, Cage. Yeah, I fell asleep about 6. Well, I was still awake at 6. I think I fell asleep shortly after that. So I got by 6.5 hours, maybe. Yeah, exactly. People don't like it. They do, and it is abrasive. But imagine the world we could live in and what we could achieve if everyone was just honest all the time and engaging all the time. People do want to be coddled. And being coddled feels nice. And society has literally, in my opinion, this is for the other channel, been engineered. We could put the engineering bit aside, but we can say, we you know, the official narrative is by accident. But let's go with the official narrative. Society has accidentally been engineered, or is the consequence of modern society, that citizens in the Western world, in the first world, are literally coddled by the system. Being coddled feels nice. It's comfortable. But it weakens your spirit. Which is the most important thing you have. I feel it, yeah, the secret of the chat. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. If you guys, basically, I won't get too deep into it. Basically, I believe, and I don't like this term, because this term is literally invented by the CIA to discredit people's truth seekers. But it's the most common known term. I am essentially what the mainstream media, or maybe even you guys, would term a conspiracy theorist. And there are certainly a lot of conspiracies that, theories that are fucking, I feel are probably fucking nonsense. But A lot of them are not, in my opinion. And I know there's people here who are regulars of this channel, and I'm sure they don't mind me mentioning them, who maybe, and I haven't sat down and spoken to them, but have some idea of the things I refer to. And, you know, there's certain people will have opinions and beliefs on certain subjects and then disregard others. But I know there's certain people who are regulars here who, I'm sure they don't mind me naming them, Athaline, Ryan, Skoy, who I've got a sense that maybe they're like Rancid Fists as well, who are like, yeah, it is, yeah, there's something to that belief. I have maybe similar beliefs, maybe we'll have a discussion about it other times. And maybe you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about, you absolute nut job? That is all nonsense. None of that is real. That is just some weird mind virus you have and has existed for, you know, for decades throughout society. Everything is above board. Everything that you know, the official narrative you hear from the powers that be is the reality. You just, you know, everything might not be above board. Obviously, there's corruption in business and capitalism and, you know, yeah, democratic societies. But for the most part, it's exactly as it seems. And I feel like our regulars here are probably split half and half, like roughly, maybe down that divide. And there's nothing wrong with you know, feeling one way or the other or thinking one way or another. But the reason I don't like to talk about it too much, because I could turn the entire channel into conspiracynib.com. Quite easily. I could talk about this shit all day long. And while some people like Ryan would be like, tell it how it is. Other people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Calm the fuck down. Do it. Yeah, I'm cowarding out, aren't I? It's here's the thing. What it is, Root, for me is this is I want to maintain what I started off this channel to be, which is, you know, it's an escape from, you know, like you play a video game to escape from reality, you know, in a sense. Not in a escape, oh, I need to get away, but just give yourself a break, a relaxing thing, a fun thing, a nice thing. Like that massive hoodie that Squidge is wearing right now. Feels comfortable, feels nice, feels warm. Squidge feels better wearing it right now than not wearing it. I don't want to make people uncomfortable here. And essentially, I want to entertain. Also, the amount of a lot of conspiracy theorists will tell you facts about the world like some fundamentalist like preacher on the street. This is the way it is. You don't know. I know. I'm smarter than you. And then you go, okay, have you got any proof for any of that? They go, no, there is no proof. I'm just telling you how it is because I know how it is and you don't. That's not helpful. If I was to speak on anything like this, I would have to do lots of research and provide lots of sources and go like deep into stuff. That's a lot more work than just playing a video game. And hang on. Yeah, we're going meta, I guess, Cage. Orknib pretends to act like Iznib while he's doing an impression of himself at the same time. And it's like, what? Now we're just lost in the Matrix. Now what even is anything? But I don't know. But you don't know the secrets, Cage. Okay, we can't talk about it here, buddy. But I guess the main overall conspiracy theory is that society is not as it seems. There are powers beyond, hidden powers of control beyond, you know, the government. We're all told the government is in charge, and there's a system set up that is, you know, for the most part, not corrupted and not controlled by outside interests. But the idea is there are hidden groups of people who actually control all the actual governments, and, you know, I believe that is essentially the case, and a lot of it is actually thrown in our faces. Um, and actually not hidden. Most people are just not paying attention to it. But, but obviously the mainstream consensus is no, that's not a thing, at all. But yes, but it's not just capitalism route. It is more to it than that, in my opinion. That is definitely the tip of the iceberg. Like for like things like you have official members of regulatory boards of stuff who like work in an official capacity to monitor stuff in industry, to regulate stuff, to make sure things are all done above board and stuff. Then those people leave, and then they hand in their notice or they quit their job of being that regulator. And then the next year, they are like on the board of directors of one of the companies that they were regulating. And you're like, huh? What? That seems weird, doesn't it? Right? Huh. I wonder how that happened. Hey, Red Mage, how you doing, buddy? And that's just like one little example, and stuff like that is just thrown in your face of, There's just so much to it with, current politics, what is shown and what is not, what is hidden. The media, how corrupt the media is. Mainstream media gaslights all of us constantly. All of them. Constantly. Most people don't think about it though, Root. But that's just, like I say, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You got the whole history of it as well. But anyway, let's not talk about this, because this is what I'm saying. This is couple of people. Ryan will be like, yes. And I'd love to get his perspective on it someday. He's worked for the United States military for a lot of his life, and his wife still does. So he might have seen shit that I can't even think about, and see some examples. But I'm trying not to be serious, Cage. But yeah, it's like a whole thing. But I don't want to turn this channel into that. I could do easily, but this is supposed to be interesting. And that, like I say, a couple of people might be like, that's super interesting, talk about that all day long. But we're doing with the we had to play video games and just hang out and have a chill time and talk to people. It's not, I don't want it to be serious. But anyway, Red Mage, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. Yeah, it's all about money, Root. Money controls everything on this level that we are on, and many levels above us. There are more things that are corrupt than are not. Like just as like a brief little bit of life advice. If you hear anything about politics in the news, or just like maybe not even in the news, but assume any politician is corrupt, because they almost assuredly are. Assume anything you hear in the mainstream media is bullshit. It's a lie. It is there to control, you'll manipulate you and control how you think about things. If you just adopt those two little things there, your life will automatically be better off, in my opinion. Anyway. It's just a matter of opinion, though. I'm not here don't take life advice from me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, take advice from Jesus Christ, maybe. Maybe, probably a better idea. And he's dead. So, I mean... you're doing great, are you, Red Mage? I'm pleased to hear that, buddy. Yeah, I'm all right. I will, yeah, I'm pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, I was like looking at that. What is that? La li lu li lo. I don't know what that's. But yes, I've been encouraged greatly by some people and also Sleight of Game to specifically do a deep dive into the Metal Gear series. The only Metal Gear games I've played are Metal Gear Solid 1, which when it was out, like what, in the late 90s, it was like, oh my god, revolutionary, mind-blowing. Everybody was talking about and playing Metal Gear Solid. Such an incredible game. Wild. It looks, well, look back at it now, it seems a little dated, but obviously, of course, I'm sure it's still perfectly playable. But I've also played quite a bit the newest ones, Metal Gear Solid 5. Excuse me, the Phantom Pain, is it called? And the prequel, Ground Zeroes. Amazing game if you're into that kind of stuff. The flexibility with it's kind of like, it's like an action, a third-person shooter action stealth game, comparable to the fantasy RPG game that Baldur's Gate 3 is, in terms of the flexibility about what you can do, the things you can actually do with your character and the actions you can take, and how you go about doing stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic. Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, 4, never played. The earlier Metal Gear games, never played. Any other Metal Gear spin-off of the series, never played. Actually, there is one. It was, what's it called? Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I think you play as Raiden, and I remember having a sword, and you just like, it's kind of like, not that I've played them, like Devil May Cry or whatever. It's like, you know, like you just run through a level and fight everything. Kian? John, is that you? I was like, who's this? Who's this guy who knows my name? First time chat. John! How you doing, bro? Are you well? Happy Monday to you. I hope you're good. Are you working a minute? I don't want to distract you. Thank you for stopping in. That's John there. That's my buddy John. J for John, I guess. Kian. I'll play Final Fantasy 11 with him, and he is absolute bro. Absolute ledge. I'm not just trying to kiss his ass because he's a bad man. But, John, I hope you're well, sir. Thank you for stopping in. You have all of them, Red Mage. Good on ya. Yeah, because of course you've got, before it was Metal Gear Solid, it was just Metal Gear, wasn't it? And you had, I think the very first Metal Gear was on the NES, right? I've never played that. It's probably too difficult for me. We shall see, though. We shall see. It's not up to me. It's up to the producers. We'll see. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, you couldn't get into it. What about 2 and 4, though, Cage? Now, isn't 3... Oh, there's another spin-off, like kind of like a mainline spin-off, Peace Walker? I don't know. I can't remember. So isn't Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater? And isn't that the one where it's like very kind of like survivally, where you like crawling through the jungle, dealing with like snake bites and stuff, and like trying to ration your food? I don't know. You guys, you tell me, Cage. But yeah, that sounds amazing. But if it's not, oh, John, what a bro. You know, the best way to show your love, of course, is to buy a little end light scroll from me. I'm joking about it. I'm probably just going to give it to you or Corey. I'll probably just random and just give it to one of you because it's like, it's fucking worthless now. It's not worthless, but John, I'm so annoyed. Literally, when I got it that week, some random guy, I don't know if I mentioned, some random guy, I think I just told Marshall, sent me a message being like, "Hey, bro, I'll buy that for you for $940." And I was like, "No, it's worth $1 million." Yeah, because hindsight's 2020, eh? But anyway, I don't want to detract you, John. John's literally just got a brand new baby. Well, I guess a couple of weeks old now. So he's, obviously he's a hard-working gentleman as well, and he's got his hands full, to say the least. Peace Walker's on the PSP initially. You know what, Red Mage? I've got... Let me have a look. I've got this, Red Mage. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker. So I'll definitely be inclined to go into those. So, if anyone who knows the original, so I do have the original, no doubt, on the original Metal Gear Solid on my Retro Pi. But it might be awkward to play. So anyone knows that game, halfway through the game, there's a boss fight. And to beat the boss, you have to either have a second controller plugged into your PlayStation, or you have to take your controller, unplug it out of the first port, and still plug it into the second one. Wild that is a thing that didn't exist. It blew everyone's mind back in the day. Trying to do it on the Retro Pi, I think, would be pretty freaking awkward. I don't know what I'd do about that, but it'll sell. No, don't worry about it, John. It's fine. I'll just probably just give it to Corey. I just there you go. He's a bro. I don't know. Do something about it. Yeah, it's just the last one. It dropped down to like 520, and it's like, come on, if all you're doing is been patient, people are just like desperate for Gil. They don't know the ways of John the Fisherman, do they? They're just like, I'll undercut myself just to get some money now. It reminds me of capitalism. They'd rather have $1 today than $100 tomorrow. Never mind. I'm not anti-capitalist, kind of mostly, but no, just when I worked in retail and stuff, John, this motherfuckers worked for some ass companies who would. It's like I'm not even a businessman or have any business qualifications, but I'm like, you are idiots. Thank you for a follow, John.
Can I sit here?
John, you can... Paladin extraordinaire, soon to be samurai extraordinaire. You can sit wherever you want, as far as I'm concerned, John. You let me know. Anything I can help you with, buddy. Because I want to be calling on your help in the future, John. You know this. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's the same one then, Red Mage, for sure. You get a Super Cube device with 100,000 games on it. So it's a Retro Pi. But it's like just the ultimate Retro Pi cage. Okay. Cool. But didn't you already have one? Have you not just wasted money getting that? Yeah, the HD collection does not include the first game. I only have access to the first game via Retro Pi, which is obviously... That would be an issue. Unless you can get it on Steam or something. There's like a modern version of it. So that's my only thing. I would love to play any of the Metal Gear games on stream if the producers vote for it. But part of me would want to like play the series in order. Although chronologically the series is not necessarily in order. I know that Metal Gear Solid 5 is set like before any of the others right, if I remember correctly, chronologically. So I don't think all of the others, but like certainly before the other Metal Gear Solid games. So I guess it doesn't matter in that regard. But I'm in like two minds. Could we just play Metal Gear Solid 2 without playing the first one? I don't know. We shall see. Wolf! How you doing, Wolf? I hope you're well, buddy. Right, it's got PlayStation and PSP that actually... PSP that... yeah, it works. Yeah, because we tried PSP on mine and it didn't like it, did it? It's just a box, right? Exactly, Squeeze. That's all you need to know. It's like its own little meme now. It's hilarious. Snake! Yeah. It's good. It's good fun. Good fun. Sleight of Game, he says it's his all-time favourite game series. And it does have a very good vibe. And it is very, like, the lore to the Metal Gear series franchise story universe is deep and complicated.
Thank you.
John, give me your Prime as well. Bless you, sir. I appreciate that. I know if you have Amazon Prime, yeah, obviously you obviously knew. You're a hags, Scotty. That means, yeah. No, he's not calling me a hags. I'm not a multiple hags. He's saying have a good stream. Oh, bless you. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Now, as you know, John, I guess, I don't know how familiar with Twitch you are. Yeah, everyone who has Amazon Prime, they get, you get a free Twitch sub. Like, my mum does it. She has Amazon Prime. She's like, I'm like, your mum, give me that. Give me that $2. She's like, oh, yes, my dear. I'm like, thank you, mum. You're the best. So thank you, John. No, so, you know, it's a freebie, but it's the fact, you know, you didn't have to do that. There's like 10,000 other streams you could, channels you could give that to, John. And, you know, and still you have to go to the effort of clicking some shit. In 2023, in the modern age of the internet, getting people's attention or getting anyone to do anything, exert any amount of effort to do anything at all. I'm not saying that's not you. I know you're very hardworking in the digital realm and the physical realm. But I appreciate that, John. Thank you, buddy. Anything I can do in return, you let me know. Bless you. But yeah. What's the other one, Sky? Yeah, Hagdor. I was like, what is that? That's right. That's Sky. Have a good day at work. Apheline, how you doing? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't call me that. But this is Scotty we're talking about. He just can't help but abuse me. Is what it is. Yeah, what is all this then? How you doing, Aff? Are you well, my dear? Hope you're good. Anyway, thank you for the lurk, Red Mage. I appreciate it, buddy. You get on those iconic feats. What a legend he is. All you hard-working people over here, I'm just running my mouth about nothing. But yeah, is there anything else I needed to mention? I don't know. You tell me. What's aseptic meningitis? What the fuck is that, Apheline? Is that related to any of the other stuff? Let me have a look. I want to find out what this is. I'm sorry you've got this. It's brain inflammation. What the fuck? When did this happen? Is this just for your like your allergies you told me about before, where you literally just everything you react to everything? Is it just more of that? Yeah, it's just a part of the lupus. Fucking hell. Ugh. Change in body temperature, possible vomiting, headaches, neck pain, lack of appetite. That sounds awful. Aff, I'm so sorry you're having to deal with that. What is this? Okay, well, this is what we're going to do before we get into the game. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, okay, have a look at this, folks. Yeah, little BuzzFeed so everyone can join in if they are. Go on a trip to London and we'll tell you what kind of tea you're most like. Tea quiz here, folks. So Squidge can get in on this. If you want, Squidge, if you need to head off and do work, I don't want to drag you into it. So it's let me pull this up on the screen now. Yeah. It's probably all messed up. Let me Sort this out. Fix your screen, this. Right, okay, so this is kind of curious way of wording it. So I guess the questions are going to be what do you want to see and do in London? I don't. Basically, is the honest answer. But we're gonna go with it anyway. But and then from the answers you give, the quiz master will be able to ascertain not what kind of tea you like, what kind of tea you are. Now, some of these BuzzFeed quizzes are wacky, aren't they? And in fact, I think the last few we've done, everyone who's taken part was like, no, this is the result here is incorrect. However, it is always amusing. And of course you get, to hear me talk about nonsense for a little bit longer. And I'm probably just going to tear London apart. No, it's fine. I just have no desire to be there. So let's give it a go. Let's have a look. Let me find you the link. And it's probably going to involve food, because they usually do. They're like, what do you want to eat? I need to start it up again. There we go. So click on that if you would like to join in with us. Or you can do it independently on the first link. If you would like to your results to be displayed along with everyone else. There we go. There's Aff and Squidge. Yeah, you got your little animal faces again. Love it. I think that should be fine. Stick that there. I'll adjust it as needed. Okay. Let's go. Okay, I don't need that. That can fuck off. Let's start. Let's go. Here we go. Right, okay. The first question. Pick a famous site. Now, okay, we've got these three. Now, are we picking the one that I find most visually appealing? Am I picking the one that I want to go visit? Are we pick one based on what that we want to go to? Well, here we go. So options are the Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye, and the Tower Bridge. Now, I have been to London several times throughout my life. Looking around at this kind of stuff, probably maybe once or twice just when I was a kid. So I've definitely been in the presence of Big Ben and Tower Bridge. And outside Buckingham Palace. These times where I've visited London to look at stuff as a tourist, as a kid, the London Eye did not exist. Hadn't even been conceived. So I've never been anywhere near the London Eye, let alone been on it. Now, so it's kind of like a it's a cross between like a viewing platform and a kind of like a carnival ride, isn't it? You will not go on it. See, I'm not a fan of heights, Squidge. Generally, I've discussed this before. I was talking with Root the other day about this. Was on the private stream? I think it was. Roller coasters and stuff. I hate them. I hate rides at theme parks. I'm not for me at all. That would be very like gentle and calm. You could even pretend you on a date with Barrett, or Tifa, or someone else if you prefer. That's the kind of thing it is, isn't it? It's just you just sit on it and look at things. You get high up in the air and you look around. So I guess it moves very slowly, so you get to see everything. Now, I don't want to be cynical, but I can't imagine there's too much interesting to see up there. Oh, it's London. Yeah, look at this shithole. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. I would just I'm just you know, alluding to the golden saucer, gold saucer. But yes, Cage. You've been there and actually seen it in the distance several times, Squidge. Yeah, I don't think I actually have. You wanted to go on it, Af, but it's super expensive. How do you remember how much it was? And I guess you get on it, and it just moves like real slowly. So I wonder how long a full rotation is. And as you can see, the little like capsule pod things on it that I guess you can get 2, 3, 4 people in each one of those, I guess. Does it stop every time people want to get on? So you're like in every step of that, it moves along and you're there for like a few seconds, 30 seconds, and it moves up. Well, more people get on at the bottom, then so each of those positions you're going to be like on for about 30 seconds a minute. So from start to finish, you're on it for like half an hour. Yeah, that sounds about right. So if I went on that, I'd get to the top and be like, what am I looking at here? There's nothing. Look at this shitty grey city. Ugh. Yeah, I would not be impressed. And is it whatever. So anyway, back to the question. I assume I'm picking the one I would like to go and visit. So I've definitely seen Big Ben relatively up close. Definitely seen the Tower of London and Buckingham Palace relatively up close. So part of me would want to choose the London Eye just so I could like come back here and slag it off to all of you guys. Big Ben is just a big old clock, guys. It's just a big old clock. It's not really. That's not even a very good picture of it. It's just sat in the corner there. I guess Tower Bridge is kind of somewhat impressive, but also, I bet you can find not the bit you can visit in, or the public are allowed to go anywhere near. But I bet you can find some weird shit in Buckingham Palace. I bet there's some funky stuff in there. So I want to pick Buckingham Palace, I think. Just because it seems like the most mysterious. Although it's speculated that in the foundations of Tower Bridge there may be like dead bodies buried in there. But that's for the other channel. Kind of odd. Pick an activity. So I guess it's a thing you want to do. Going on a Harry Potter tour. Now, I assume there must be some Harry Potter attraction in London that I am completely unaware of. I assume. It shows how much I know. Visiting Madame Tussauds. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is like, obviously you can see Obama there. It's meant to be like super like realistic, funky waxworks of famous people. Although, like, if I saw that Obama there, I would be like, you're wearing a wax, buddy. You're a faker. Okay. Oh, right. Is it Squidge? I don't know anything about it. Honestly. I mean, what is it though? Have they like it looks like they've replicated some place. Is it, what's it called? I'm trying, it's been so many years since I read the books. Diagon Alley. I know Cage is a Harry Potter expert, so you'll be able to tell me. Okay, interesting, Squidge. That sounds kind of cool. I Other options, going to a football game. Oh, why would I want to do that? In what reality would I want to do that? I don't know. Yeah, Harry Potter. The thing is, I'm not enough of a fan of it to like get anything out of it. Like, I can imagine people going there and be like, "Oh, look at this, look at this." Is, you know, like Cage would like recognize stuff and be like, "Oh, this is the thing from," and I'd be like, "Oh, that thing is cool. I don't know what the fuck it is though." And it's like this little fake dragon like stuck up on a rooftop there. That's cool. That might mean something to somebody who is not me. Finally, shopping at Harrods. Now, Harrods is like a super expensive store. I don't know what they sell, though. I've no idea what they sell. There's some bottles of alcohol. Now, I have to assume if we go shopping at Harrods, it's with my own money. The quiz is not giving us some free money to spend, is it? Yeah, just crazy expensive stuff. Just stuff that's like, it's a store that is just for people without money. In fact, I think this dude there in his green jacket, I think he literally is an employee there. I don't think he's shopping there. I think that's probably the uniform you have to wear if you work there. That's just how, you know. Yeah, it's a department store for millionaires. It's just like, what? So I wouldn't even be allowed. They'd probably have security on the door. I'm sure they must have security on the door. And they'd be like, "Excuse me, Iznib, you're not welcome here. We know you have no money and you look like shit." I'd be like, "Fuck you." So I would go there if, like, the quiz is like, "Here is your spending money." Yeah, I'd free stuff. I wouldn't want to go to a football game. And I would not get anything out of Madame Two Swords. Specifically, I guess I'd be somewhat impressive for the amount of effort there is and the skill that goes into making a waxwork. But also, I'd be like, okay, that was kind of... I'd soon get over it. The smooth Barmer. He could clearly tell it's Obama, can't you? But also, he doesn't look quite right. You're like, that's not really you. So, while I'm not a massive fan of Harry Potter, I do like it well enough. I think I'd get the most out of it if I was there with, like, Cage or someone else who is, like, a big fan of it and would, like, be like, "Yo, Iz, look at this," and I would vicariously appreciate their enthusiasm. So, and it is like fantasy stuff, so it's cool, isn't it? So I would probably just go on the Harry Potter tour and be like, and if it was shit, then at least I wouldn't know it was going to be shit. But anyway, local food to try. I mean, of course. What do they even sell? Shall we answer this question for Root? It seems like a reasonable question. Let me see. Harrods, London, store. I guess I don't need the opening hours. Just like, what do you sell? What do you sell, Harrods? Right, okay. Right, they sell all sorts of fashion stuff. Fine jewelry. Right, okay. It's basically all super expensive designer bags, jewelry, clothing, beauty products. So I guess it'd be like perfume and shit. Watches. Yeah, you could go and buy a Rolex there. La-di-da. They even sell kids stuff. Oh, they even sell, like, Lego, apparently. But it'll be the most expensive Lego you ever bought. Old school, like, dolls' houses. Yeah, also kids' clothes. Yeah, all sorts of cosmetics and, in hygiene stuff. I'll probably just click on something just to get an idea. Households shit, furniture, kitchen stuff. They also sell alcohol, champagne, of course, food as well. What the fuck? They sell tea and coffee. I can't wait to see how this fucking expensive tea, which is appropriate. That's what we should look up, as this is a tea quiz. Yeah, also like things that are picked out to be specifically occasion gifts. Like if you need to buy someone an engagement gift or wedding gift, an anniversary gift, and you don't know what to buy. Yeah, so that you got an idea. It's a la-di-da. So let me click on some. I want to buy some Harrods tea. Their own brand. 100 tea bags. 11 quid. That's pretty expensive. But I mean, honestly, I was kind of expecting to be more than that. Yeah, so that's what 11p per tea bag. I'm trying to think of my tea bags. Yeah, they're probably a fraction of that cost. Okay. Let me have a look at their fancy coffee. Okay, yeah, this is a bit more. So I would buy a jar of coffee for like £1.50, 2 quid. There's like 15, 20 quid. Wow, Japanese instant coffee. 30 quid for a 100-gram jar. Okay, so we're looking at coffee that's like 50 times more expensive than the coffee I buy. Insane. Okay, anyway, that's Harrods for you. Now, Brute, don't get me wrong, if the quiz was like, here you go, Iznib, here's £1,000. I guess, but you're not allowed to keep it. You have to spend it on this trip. Then I would choose to go to Harrods and just get some expensive shit. Canada for the loony. What's the loony? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Chris makes sense, right? Makes sense. Could you get this? I guess they have a gift shop, Cage. You could buy some merch and stuff. That's fair. But anyway, so what food are we eating? Are we having a full English breakfast? Does everybody know what that is? You can tell from the picture. Of course, it's got to have baked beans. Like, you have a full English breakfast is open to interpretation. Exactly what constitutes, what components of food are involved. Included. So I guess I'll tell you what it should be a given. And it would be considered not full if it's missing any of these things, in my opinion. And there's lots of optionals. The ultimate full English breakfast, which I'm sure some places that serve it would pride themselves on, should probably include every single one of these components I'm about to state. So you need to have bacon. There should be rashers of bacon. There should be no less than 2 minimum. Obviously, the quality of your bacon may vary. You should also have sausage. It should have sausages. Now, sometimes some places might have like square sausage, like a sausage patty kind of thing, rather than actual sausages. It should really have sausage. If there's no sausage, I'm like, this is not a full English. It's got bacon. Well, la-di-da, do you want a medal for, having half of the bare minimum? Oh, right, okay. Thank you, Root. We know where the term buck comes from. That's because back in the frontier days in your wonderful country, they $1 you would a buck's hide, a deer, a buck. The hide of it would be worth $1, and they'd be out on the frontier. There'd be more deer hides around than there would be actual physical currency, so that people would trade them at the same value of $1. Yeah, how much is that? Oh, that's $3. Here you go. Here's 3 deer hides. There you go. Did you know that? You probably did. I'm preaching to the choir. Yes. Let's get back to that route. So yes, bacon and sausage. The third most important component, which again I feel if it doesn't have this, it is not full English. It has to have egg. An egg. It can be a single egg. It could be more than one egg. And how that egg is prepared is it doesn't matter. You should be getting a choice. The classic is a fried egg, just pan-fried egg. Some people like sunny side up egg. I do. I like that yolk to be nice and juicy and nice and runny. Some people like to flip it over. Let's cook that yolk up a little bit. I don't know, a bit more solid. That's perfectly fine. Other options would be poached. I am a fan of a poached egg. I would generally choose a poached egg over a fried egg. But they're a pain to cook, so I can't really be whatever. Scrambled egg is also another, probably like the third option. And you could have eggs in other ways. I know some people like a soft boiled egg for maybe a starter. But you're not really going to find a soft boiled egg included in your full English. Now, next important component is baked beans. Now, baked beans aren't required on a full English breakfast, but they should be offered as an option. If you're served a full English breakfast and you're not offered baked beans, if it just turns up and there aren't any, and it wasn't offered to you, I would argue that's not a full English breakfast. That is how important the baked bean component is. They should offer it to you, though, because some people do not like baked beans. They do not want them. Or even if they do, they don't want them on their full English, and that is perfectly acceptable. But to just assume that they are not included is incorrect. And I would always choose them. Give me the baked beans. I like baked beans more when they're less juicy, when they've been kind of overcooked a little bit, so they've got a nice stodge to them. A little bit, more than what is in that picture there. But I'm not going to not eat them, but I do want them, regardless of how they are cooked. To Heather! Of course you love baked beans, because you've got good taste, my dear. That's why you're here. How you doing, Heather? I hope you're well. Yes, poachies. Yeah, I'm just lazy, Squidge, but yes, poached egg. Other components, roots, yes, good question. Excellent question. Is that just a chunk of tomato on that plate there? Yes. Yes, it is. Now, this is the controversial. I'm not a massive fan of tomatoes. If I'm served a full English breakfast and it has a chunk of tomato on it, depending on what it looks like, it's kind of like a coin flip where I'm going to eat it or not. I may eat it, I may not. It is just sometimes you're maybe sliced. And I know a lot of people, full English, it will either be tinned tomatoes, whether they're chopped or chunk of plum tomato. That's more appealing to me on a full English than just actual fresh tomato. As you can probably see on that little picture there, slightly, it looks like it's been seasoned. It looks like it's got some kind of maybe salt and pepper on it or something. That is definitely going to help. And something that definitely helps is it's actually grilled before it's served to you. It's not just raw tomato. They chuck it under the grill, cook it up a little bit, which also definitely helps. So if it's either tinned, canned tomatoes, that's definitely better in my, in my opinion. But if it's a fresh tomato, if it's grilled and seasoned, that's gonna more likely get me to eat it. I have been served full English breakfast where they just take a tomato, cut it in half, just chuck it on your plate. I'm like, have you even fucking washed this thing? You certainly haven't cooked it or seasoned it, motherfucker. I'm not eating that. I'm almost like in a half mind to throw it at them. Like, get out of here. For me, the tomato, while it is probably in most 95% of full English breakfasts you are served in this country will come with the tomato in some fashion or another, it is the least important component for me. I don't need it. It doesn't have to be there. Another kind of fairly common component that is not is kind of on the same level as the tomato is mushrooms. Again, I'm not a massive mushroom fan. I will definitely eat them with stuff, but I'm never like, oh, I really crave some mushrooms. Again, for me, like the tomato, if they're not there on the plate, I'm not missing them. I don't care. Usually they'll be kind of chopped up quite small and kind of like juicy and like fried in like the same pan with the meats and the egg and such. Just like soaking up some of that like fat and that juice. Unlike the tomato, I will definitely eat the mushrooms if they are served on the plate. I have seen some places where they'll just give you like a mass. Mushrooms are not chopped up. They're just chucked on your plate. Or even you get like a big fat, a fanny boom batty mushroom. You know them big boys. They cut the stalk off and it's like, here you go. Oh, there's something wrong with my plate, sir. No, that's not a plate. That's not a plate. That is your mushroom. You're like, I don't need to eat a mushroom that's the same size as my head. That's not something I'm really desiring. Let's call Mario up, see if he wants it. Yeah, mushrooms. Hit or miss, each their own. Right, yes, Squidge. I don't need them. Yeah. If they said to me, Cage, hey, would you like mushrooms or tomato with that? I'm going to choose mushrooms every time. Yes, yeah, Heather. I like mushrooms with some things, but I'll just pick a mushroom for you, mate. No on that. Yeah, you're not all right, Root. You're mostly not into baked beans, but you definitely don't want them on breakfast. Now, here's the thing about the full English breakfast, Root. It's don't be deceived by the breakfast side of things. It is a thing that can be in at lunchtime. It is a thing that it can even be eaten as an evening meal. Although I would say most often in the morning is when that is when it's intended to be eaten, and probably most often eaten. Most British citizens are not going to this effort to make that for breakfast every day or ever. Like I don't remember last time I had that for breakfast. Probably when I was a kid. I'm sure like Squidge and Heather will agree that I don't have that for breakfast. I've never, not recently anyway. It's a whole thing, like making a whole meal. It's like it's wild. So that's kind of like the main components. Now there are a few things that are kind of extras that I feel are not required, but I'm very pleasantly pleased if I discover they are there. Hash browns. Yes, not hash brownies, hash browns. That we all know what they are. The potato product that's... Who doesn't like hash browns? I could just eat a stack of them right now. And on a full English, they're perfect for soaking up your bean juice. I am very happy if I see a single hash brown in a full English breakfast. If you get two, oh my God, yeah, you're on to winner. Hash browns. Don't expect it. But any place in the country that is offering the ultimate full English breakfast, and it doesn't have hash browns, I'll be like, you don't know the word of you don't know the meaning of the word ultimate, friend. Other considerations: fried bread. Fried bread, if anyone doesn't know, you literally just take a slice of bread and you get it in that same pan that you've cooked everything else in, and you soak up all the fat and juices and fry it up. Fried bread is amazing. It's terrible for you, probably. But my God, it tastes good. It tastes good. If you get served fried bread, oh my God, you're onto a winner. The final component that I can think of, and Squidge, Heather, or anybody else, feel free to correct me if you think of. Oh, actually, no, not final. There's two more. Almost final. Toast. Just toast. Just toasted bread with butter. That is normally seen as a compliment. A compliment. That will not be typically on the plate. That might be like on the side. And say, hey, have some toast as well while you're at it, kind of thing. It's unlikely. You never expect it. It's just like an extra add-on, almost. And it's not really considered part of the plate. But some places do it as kind of like a cop-out because they can't be bothered to do the fried bread. We can't be bothered to do the fried bread. Have some toast instead. And I'd rather have the toast than not have the toast. Again, for the ultimate will give you both. You're getting both for the ultimate. Look for it. But some people think toast is great. I'm a big advocate of toast. Toast, I could just eat it all day. Really, no problems with that. Other people think it's highly overrated, and that's fine. I understand. The final thing I can think of: black pudding. Do you guys have black pudding in America? Even over here, it's very rare. Most people don't like it. If I did a survey of 100 random people off the street in this town, sorry to bother you there. Just a quick question for the Iznib Show research department. Do you like black pudding? I'd say probably about 95 out of 100 would say, well, probably 90 out of 100 would go, gross. No, I don't like black pudding. Probably 2 out of the 100 would go, oh yeah, I like a nice little bit of black pudding. And probably 8 out of the 100 would go, what's black pudding? I don't know. Oi, what's that? I don't know what it is. Yeah, Cage is like, what the fuck is black pudding? You, says Heather, you don't like it, Wolf. Cage has no idea. You just looked it up. It looks disgusting. So I don't know what they add to it. And let me do some more research for you folks. But black pudding, and Squidge, I agree with your assessment there. I like it. I will eat it, but I am never really kind of like seeking it out. Like if you gave me a whole plate full of it, I don't know if I. But yeah, a little bit on the side. Right, blood sausage. Pork or beef blood with pork fat or beef suet and some kind of cereal, usually oatmeal, oat groats or barley groats. Just to kind of stick it all together. It is pork or beef blood. It is the blood of a pig or the blood of a cow that they go, let's not waste this blood. Let's just mix it with some stuff and cook it and feed it to people. Sounds gross as all hell. Actually, kind of tasty in small amounts. There we go. Cage dropping it. Your father liked it often. Yeah, I think I've probably times in my life I've had it. It's probably that many. It's not. I'm surprised that honestly you can. I'm sure if I went into the local big supermarket, they would probably have it somewhere. Most people do not like it. Some people have never even heard of it. It's rare to find people who actually like it and enjoy it. It's quite popular in a lot of European countries, is it, Squidge? Interesting. Yeah, and look, I'll get it. There's much worse things to eat. But anyway, that has summed up there, folks, what a full English breakfast is. Squidge or Heather, I don't know if you think I've missed anything there. I think I have given attention to every single component I could think of and given my opinions on all of those. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with, you know, give me a full English breakfast. I'm very happy, and mostly because, you know, bacon and sausage and egg. That's, you know, everything else is kind of extra. Yeah, tomato ketchup or brown sauce. I like both of those very much, Heather. But I'm not really adding them to the full English. I feel with the juice of the meats, the juice of the baked beans, the juiciness of your egg, potentially juiciness of fried bread, potentially juiciness of fried mushrooms, and maybe even some tomatoes hanging on there. I don't need to add any of that. Now, if we're talking specifically a bacon butty or sausage sandwich, then absolutely I would want sauce on that, and absolutely it would be brown sauce. Tomato ketchup is wonderful. Arguably the best overall sauce in the world, just like for general use. With bacon and sausage, brown sauce is just legend. It's just the best. You don't even have it in the house. No, neither do we, Squidge. And it doesn't have to be HP, even though that is the best. You know, you knock off brown sauce is fine. Yeah, and that's fine. Well, I don't have any either, Squidge, but I like it. I really like it. I think it's yummy as all bloody hell. Yeah. This is too many juices. Don't like it juicy, Root. I thought you liked me. I'm quite juicy. Just not your food. Okay, that's fine. I like things juicy. Not too many intermingling. Oh, mingle it up. Here's the thing. I think I mentioned this before. And don't worry, if you take me out to eat, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not a savage. But at home, I'm a plate licker. I get all the juices. I consume it all. I'm not going to embarrass you out in town, do I? What the hell is brown sauce? Here we go. Next question. Brands, you don't want brown sauce. Brown sauce. Brown sauce is a condiment commonly served with food in the United Kingdom and Ireland, normally dark brown in colour. The taste is either tart or sweet, with a peppery taste similar to that of Worcestershire sauce. Not really, but yeah. Brown sauce is typically eaten with meals such as full breakfast, bacon sandwiches, and chips. I don't know if I would ever put it on chips, but also I haven't got a problem with that. Combination of malt vinegar or water and brown sauce, simply known as sauce or chippy sauce, is popular on fish and chips in Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh, okay, interesting. That's the Scottish. They're crazy. Right, so the first original brown sauce was called HP sauce, which is still the premier and #1 brand. Created in the 1890s. Oh, okay, but there's apparently an alternative claim that somebody else created it in the 1850s and then sold that recipe to the guy who came out of it 40 years later. But yeah, it's yummy as all hell. Main ingredients, Root: tomatoes, molasses, dates, apples, tamarind, vinegar. I don't know if that sounds good. I don't know what I was rambling about there. Okay, thank you for the clip. Yeah, if you give me a slice of bread, that's fine. I don't have bread lying around, Heather, so I just lick it. You know, that's just because I'm a savage. Yeah, I don't blame you, Heather. Tomato ketchup is fucking excellent. Special chip spice. What is that, Heather? Oh my god. Anyway, I think never mind the quiz. I've spent more time talking about full English breakfast than we have on the quiz. But never mind. Moving on. I think you know I'd like to eat one. Let me tell you. Yeah, that's that. So, fish and chips, fried fish with chips, or fries, as you lovely American folks would say. French fries, basically. I think chunky French fries. Although the ones in that picture don't look that chunky. And you know, fish can it could be haddock, it could be plaice. Usually, 90% of the time, it's gonna be cod. Either way, I will go for any of those three fish. And if it is good fish and chips, my God. There's not too much to say about it because it is what it is. You need a lot of salt and vinegar. A lot of vinegar. And a lot of salt. That's just me. I'm a savage, maybe. Yeah, I can't eat that without salt and vinegar, in fact. But, some people like to go for, tartar sauce. I assume you guys know what that is. It's not that popular over here, but it is what is it? What kind of what is it based on? Let me find this out for you. Tartar sauce is condiment of mayonnaise, chopped pickles and relish, capers and herbs such as tarragon and dill. There you go. It's tartar sauce. Various variations, herbs, lemon juice, or olives. Most often served with seafood, fish and chips, fish sandwiches, fish fingers, fried oysters, and calamari. Yeah, tartar sauce is a joy. Yeah, some people don't like it. But yeah, it's the dill. That's what is the dill and the capers. That is, you know, but that's not necessary. I don't need to put that on my fried fish. So I have salt and vinegar though. Yeah. Bad fish and chips is just awful. Good fish and chips. Now, if we're eating out in London, it's probably we'll live in a good place. Anyway. Scones and tea. Some people call them scones. That's because they do not see it as the letter E in the word. But that's fine. I'm not here to judge. Scones and tea. Yeah, I mean, I'm such a prick, can't I, Squidge? I didn't even know that. And especially when I was born up north, and it generally, aside from like specific regional accents, the change and the difference in dialect is the more kind of like shorter, harsher sounds to words up north. And it was quite a revelation when I moved down to the central south coast when I was a kid. You know, consequences, you know, causes of lots of miscommunications and confusion, to be sure. But something I found very strange is the fact that, you know, up north where I grew up, that object there is called a scone, as you can see from the spelling of the word. But but down south, they call it a scone, which I thought was wild, because if anything, you'd think it would be the other way around, because obviously scone is like a more kind of harsher sound, but scone is, you know, far more like softer sound. But it's not. It was the other way around. It's wild. But anyway, some say scone, I say scone. It's the same thing. Now, typically, you can see what they're like. You're going to cut that in half, for anyone who doesn't know, and you put some kind of cream and some kind of jam on it. Now, I think I actually was gifted a scone. Was it just one random scone, or it might have been two? Because I think they were getting thrown away somewhere. And they were like about to go out of date or something. And this was like not that long ago, probably like a month ago. 5 or 6 weeks ago. And they were really good. They were great. I did not have any jam in the house. I certainly did not have any kind of cream. And when we say cream, we're talking like, typically it's supposed to be clotted cream. You know, it's not like just pouring cream because that's going to make a mess. I just cut them in half and buttered them, Squidge, which sounds heathen. Not how it's supposed to be, because, I mean, I can't have them dry. But it was fine. It was fine. Yeah, I pushed a bit of butter on them. Not real butter, like spread, whatever spread my brother has in the fridge. They were a shadow of the gloriousness that they could have been. But it is what it is. They were still very enjoyable, though. Super tasty. Anyone's never had scones, and they go perfectly with a cup of tea. It's just like, there's something about that combination of awesomeness. Okay. So the spelling, Heather, looks like it would be scoon, but it's actually pronounced scone. Okay, perfect. Oh, sorry, Heather. Get away from me. Let's have a look. God, yes, whatever. I've been Hull. Yeah, I didn't go to any chip shops, but you know, I did go up there briefly. Yeah, so yeah, Heather lives nearby Hull. Yeah, Chip Spice claimed to be inspired by American seasonings. The Spice Blender Company. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like just a mix of salt and paprika. Okay, I would not be against that. But yeah, salt and vinegar, please. I don't need to add that on as well. But each their own. These quizzes, I think Atheling does this on purpose just to torture us. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure I would enjoy it, Heather. Just yeah, I don't know. It's hard to But anyway, scones and tea. If you've never had it, my lovely American friends, I don't know if you can even get hold of it. And there's probably some equivalent. But yeah, with proper clotted cream, high quality scone, with a high quality jam, with high quality clotted cream, with high quality cup of tea, it's probably the nicest thing you'll ever put in your mouth. Possibly. Is the taste combination is so perfect. But you know, it's trying to get all that together. Anyway, moving on. Eton mess. Now, again, our lovely friends go, what the fuck is that? It's what rich people eat to just lord it over the peasants. Basically. It's a traditional English dessert consisting of a mixture of strawberries or other berries, meringue, and cream, whipped cream. That's all it is, basically. That's it. It's got to have cream, it's got to have meringue, and it's got to have berries. That's an Eton mess. And there's obviously all sorts of variations on it. Obviously, they've made some kind of fancy tower stack here. But that's all it is. Cream, meringue, and berries. Yeah, who doesn't like those things? Who doesn't like those things in combination? Yeah, bring it on. I'm, you know. I'm not against it at all. Apparently it's a variation where you use bananas rather than berries. I don't know about that. That sounds, I mean, I love bananas, but okay, and strawberries are regarded as the main berry. Obviously, you can put others in there. Yeah, the mess part is supposed to refer to the fact that it's just, you know, chucked all together. It's not meant to look good. It's not, certainly not look as good as it does. That's a bit more la-di-da. Eton mess. They call it thunder and lightning. Heather, in Cornwall. Fascinating. Oh, yeah, that sounds amazing, Heather. Oh my God, yeah, I'll go for some of that. But anyway, so we're out in London. We've just gone to the Harry Potter place, and now we're going to get some food. What do I want? I could go for any of those, honestly. But what is going to satisfy me the most is probably going to be fish and chips. As long as it's good quality. That's my choice. Anyway, moving on. Squidgy's like, I need to do some work today. Can you just move it along, please? Now we have to pick an activity to do. Visiting the Natural History Museum. The Natural History Museum is pretty awesome. I've been a couple of times, but not in too many years. And I'm sure in the time that I've not been there's probably like loads of new stuff. I'm sure. So anyone who's not aware, it's like the kind of like probably the biggest museum in London in terms of size and you know how many visitors it gets and how many people have been there. And it is just like in the picture there you can see loads of skeletons they've put together for various animals. It's all sorts of animal stuff, all sorts of like history stuff. Just natural history. I'm practically a genius, aren't I? What's natural history mean, Iznib? Well, it's got some natural stuff, and it's got some historical stuff. Yeah, did you get... Oh, come on, life. Anyway, it's kind of cool. It's interesting from what I remember of it. Anyway. Jogging at Hyde Park. I'm sure it'd be nice to walk through Hyde Park, but I don't want to go, hey, let's have a workout while we're here in London. Certainly not if you're just eating lunch. Sort your life out. Jogging. Shopping at Camden Market. Camden's kind of a cool place. It's kind of got... It's more like a boutique, retro, bespoke kind of stuff. Kind of markets and like private stores and stuff. Loads of clothes stuff. Yeah, no, you could probably buy drugs there if you wanted. Not legally, obviously. I have been there. I remember being propositioned by a prostitute there when I was a kid. It wasn't weird. It wasn't obvious. It was pretty subtle. And it was me and my buddy just walking around there exploring. But we were probably like 14, 15. And this lady is like, oh, hey there, boys. You want to come in here and spend some time with me? And we're like, no thanks, lady. She was like some middle-aged lady who was like basically like, yes. It's pretty obvious what she was getting at. And we were like, we were not looking for that. We were not expecting that. And we certainly were not looking for that. We were just 14-year-old lads just like walking around looking at stuff. Maybe she thought we were older than we were. I don't know. Maybe she didn't care. She was just looking for some business. I don't know. Why she thought we had any money? I guess we had some amount of money, but anyway. It's a bit of a weird one. But or a river cruise on the Thames. Why you would want to ride a boat along a river, which is in a very built-up city, and who knows what jank is in that river? What dead bodies are in the bottom of that? You don't want to be swimming in that, let alone drinking it. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I'd get much out of that. My choice of most fun thing to do would be the Natural History Museum, for sure. Definitely. Moving on. Next question. Yeah, look at some dinosaur skeletons, right? Squidge, that's cool. That's not want to be fun. Would you buy as a souvenir? These are very specific. So, souvenir for myself. Does it count as a souvenir if you get it for yourself? It can do, right? But it's meant to be for someone else. So you got some Harry Potter merchandise, which obviously would... I'm sure you could pick that up without going to the Harry Potter experience. I'm sure you could very much, definitely, easily pick that up if you were. I like the Lego owl. That's pretty cool. The Lego models have got even more detailed since I collected them. Yeah, are we buying this for ourselves or somebody else? Chocolate. Like I said, it's British, so it almost suggests if you're a visitor from elsewhere and you're, because our chocolate's like obviously, superior to American chocolate, obviously. I don't know if that's true. It's probably not true. It's different though, apparently. I don't know. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? A Paddington Bear plushie. Why we're bringing Paddington Bear into this all of a sudden, I don't know. But each their own, eh? And of course, come on, English tea, of course. No, I've got English tea at home. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay. Right. I am a fat, greedy bitch, so I'm going to choose chocolate. I mean, if it was like, if I was getting a gift for Cage, I don't know, he might have like a Lego Harry Potter guy. I don't know. He might not. He might buy this junk. But I know you definitely want chocolate. So, I would go with that. This is like for myself, really, but I don't know. It's not non-specific. Pick a destination for a day trip from London. So we're staying in London now, we're heading out of London for the day. You want an extra day to travel? Cardiff, Oxford, Brighton and Hove, or Liverpool? Brighton's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, right, exactly. I would pick Oxford as well. So I'm going to harass Squidge. I'll be like, Squidge, I'm near your house. She'd be like, don't make me call the police, Iznib. I've never been to Cardiff, but I have. I've heard it's kind of pretty cool. I don't know too much about it. I think I've only ever passed through Liverpool. I guess Liverpool's got the history with it. There we go. Okay, well there you go. That's decided, isn't it? I guess if you're an international traveller, if you're coming from say the States to visit the United Kingdom, and you're actually going to like look at stuff, and you were literally spending a couple of weeks here, and most of your time will be in London, but you are like going to look at other stuff, I guess you might go to any of these places. From my point of view, it seems like a wild thing to do, but the Challenger, how you doing? I'm good. How you doing? The Challenger. Hang on a minute. Is that you, Lolo? Is that you, Lolo? What the fuck? It is! Lolo, how you doing, buddy? I was like, hang on, I recognise that name. I'm good, friend. How are you doing? Guys, if anyone doesn't know the Challenger there, that is Lolo. I know him from, I played Final Fantasy 14 with him. And he was like kind of lovely young fellow I was kind of like hanging out with in 14 and chatting with. And his buddy Morale, kind of just before I started streaming. I literally said to them, like, those are the first guys I literally said about me streaming. I was like, I'm doing a stream, I'm starting a stream, I've got to stop playing this game. And they were like, that's unfortunate, but do what you got to do. And Lolo kind of like hung out kind of near like kind of some of my very first streams when there was nobody here. How are you doing, buddy? You're doing well. Anyway, sorry, we're in a little bit of a quiz here in a minute, but welcome in. That's a good question. Yeah, exactly. Yes, there you go. Answered Red Major's question there, Squidge, as you should. Yeah. No one's doing vacuuming. Vacuuming isn't an activity that exists in the United Kingdom, Red Mage. Only hoovering you will find here. It doesn't matter what the brand of your vacuum cleaner is. Or Hoover. Ours is called Henry. Henry the Hoover. It's not made by the Hoover Company. But anyway, yes, answer your question. But anyway, Lolo, I hope you're all right, buddy. Feel free to tell me what you're up to. You certainly don't need to. Af, are you not even hanging out with us? Af's like, here you go, do this. I'll give you something to do for a minute. We're having wonderful conversations, Af. Lolo stopped in as well. Okay. So there you go. Studying, getting ready for some work. Yeah, I remember you saying you were a bit of an artist. We've got a few artists in here as well, Lolo. Bored of your life. Well, don't get too bored of it. You're still young. You still got your whole life ahead of you. You can do all sorts of stuff. All right? Look after yourself. But yeah, what are you doing? Like, you have much time for gaming at all nowadays? Are you playing anything at the minute? I got back into Final Fantasy 11, Lolo. I played on a random private server like a bit since, where I met my lovely friend Atheline there, and some other cool people. And now I'm playing on a different private server, which I've been since beginning of the year. And I met some awesome people on there as well, so everything's going good. You want to do stuff, but you don't have the will to do it. We don't want to do it enough, then, not I. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm already sucked into it. Yeah, I'm well versed. I don't want to like drag you into it. Yeah, I know the beast I'm dealing with. So don't worry. But you sound well, at least, even if you were bored. What are these things you want to do that you haven't mustered up the energy to do? Just artwork stuff. Anyway, to answer the question, I'm sure Cardiff is wonderful. I don't really need to go to Liverpool to see some iron metal statues of the Beatles walking down the road. And I've been to Brighton before. Brighton is kind of got a very kind of chill vibe. I felt when I went there, it's kind of like, it seemed like a cool place, and it also had a very awesome comic book shop as well. But the party has ended. It'll take too long on the quiz. Oh fuck! Okay, we're not going to get Well, let's. Oh god, sorry, you again. You certainly don't need to. Yeah, you've been in that comic book store, Atheline. What the fuck? Seriously? Yes, I literally took too long and the quiz ended itself. It's fine. I can whip through the answers again to get my results. Fuck my life. There we go. We're back to fish and chips. Yep. Fucking hell. Natural History Museum. Chocolate. Oi, chocolate. Yes. Back to where we were. Oh my god, sort your life out. Yeah, I'm sure Cardiff is wonderful. Liverpool, whatever, I don't care. I would probably just go to Oxford, because there is some like cool stuff to see, and then maybe I could even go, yo, Squidge, come and say hello to your favourite streamer. And she'd be like, oh, but my favourite streamer isn't here, Iznib. What are you doing here? Anyway, moving on. We spent obviously long enough on this. Stream's going well, Lolo. I mean, I've got there's a bunch of people who are here right now, and some are not. But we've got like a tight knit group of regulars here, and it's come up to like 3 years since I started streaming, Lolo, which is wild. But yeah, Twitch is weird. The whole vibe on the platform is weird, and it like changes over time. And I've met so many awesome people through streaming on Twitch, whether they're fellow streamers or otherwise. Absolutely blessed with the support I get from everybody here. And yeah, it's going wonderfully, Lolo. I cannot complain about it. Absolutely love it. Nothing I'd rather be doing. Nah! There is that, of course, Atheline. Because, yeah, I mean, if anybody... I know Squish doesn't stream that often, but she is the best, so, you know. But yeah, absolutely loving it, Lolo. Here's to the next 3 years. I'm not stopping anytime soon. Anyway, final question. Pick something red that's associated with London. Red, what? Are we taking it home? Are we giving it a slap? What are we doing? What's your favourite red thing? The King's Guard. Well, la-di-da, the Redcoats, the British Empire. We wrecked the world. Look at my red jacket, mate. Right, congratulations. It wasn't the King's Guard. They just stand around and wear stupid hats. So I guess these guys do just like stand on guard around the Buckingham Palace, and they do in various other locations around London. And they do have to be dressed like this, and occasionally they have to do like presentations and parades and walking around. But I assume they get paid quite a lot of money for doing basically not very much, as you would expect from the King's Guard. Yeah, whatever. I would, if I had to wear this hat for my job, I would also kind of expect to get paid quite a lot. Telephone booth. Yes, the classic red. You used to see these around all the time as a kid. It's like almost like an institution. After kind of from the 90s onwards, they did not look like this any longer, but they were still around. And obviously, going into the the 2000s and the teens, the phone boxes don't exist anymore. They do technically exist occasionally around, but nobody uses them because everybody has a mobile phone. They don't. I think it's more for like drug dealers and stuff who use them occasionally. I guess you do get these ones in London still, because they're still kind of like considered like I guess like a historical thing, and there's probably still a few around that I assume that can still technically be used, and they are probably maintained by the government just because they're kind of like technically kind of like an iconic historical feature. But whatever. Everyone's got a mobile phone. Double-decker buses. Yes. You do occasionally get... I remember double-decker buses in Sheffield as a kid. I don't think I've ever seen them down here. Near Portsmouth. And certainly not less as, like, in modern era. You don't really get double-decker buses. But you do in London, and they are bright red because... I don't know. You tell me that looks good or something. Definitely a thing. But so what? I don't want to be riding a bus. Generally speaking. Post box, the place you put your mail. Now this is not necessarily a London thing. Red post boxes are always red, bright red, wherever you go in the country, and they're probably most useful. I would say of these four things, they are the least associated with London because they look like that everywhere in the country. Exactly, Squidge. No one's making a phone call in one of those. Yeah, I guess that's the idea, isn't it? That is why if everything's grey, you can see the things easier. Let's just pick something. It's not like, which is most visually appealing to you? Which do you want to write a story about, or a poem, or a song? Which do you want to draw a picture of? Just pick one. What if you just call the doctor? You got your mobile phone? I don't... What are we talking about here, Cage? Yo, Feifu! How you doing, my dear? Are you well? What's going on? I mean, I don't know what's going to do. I want to pick the post box just because they are the most useful. That's actually something I have used in this life that is useful to me. The Doctor. Oh, sorry. The Doctor. Cage, I was like, just call the fucking doctor. You're not feeling well, buddy. I don't need to call the doctor. I'll leave that to you. Faye, what is even going on now? We're doing a quiz at the minute to find out what, based up on what you would do or experience in the city of London, and some of them will just pick some random stuff. The quiz will tell us what kind of tea, the drink, we are. Not kind of what kind of tea we like. It is BuzzFeed. These quizzes are fun. That's what we're doing, but the results are ridiculous. Anyway, we are finally done. Thank you, Squidge, for putting your answers back in. We obviously lost Atheling because I had to restart because we literally ran out of time. The quiz timed out. Let's find out what the answers are and tell it how ridiculous it is. There we go. Earl Grey. Squidge, is that you? Quizzy. I just put Quizzy in to make the thing go and Rooibos tea. People at ease. I don't know if we actually tried that, but Earl Grey. You're unique, and you make a bold first impression. Okay, so I guess I am like Earl Grey. Read more. You carry yourself with confidence. Is that you, Squidge? I'll take that. I don't like Earl Grey though. I don't like the taste of it. And now we all know it's Captain Picard's favourite. You know. Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, for us, you can just have to tell us your answer. No, I don't like Earl Grey. Faye. Just English breakfast, the only tea that matters. You have different levels of quality. Now, some people, you know, they want a Darjeeling or they want a green tea or that's fine. You enjoy all that. I don't need it. And Yorkshire tea. Yes, Heather. That is just that is just a brand of English breakfast tea, which is of a higher quality, shall we say. Rouet, is it? Oh, thank you. Oh, I did not know that, and that's obviously why you know it, Red Mage. Rouet booze? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Anyway, you'll just have to tell us your result, Af. I'm afraid. I'm sorry, it timed out. Reset because I'm a genius. Anyway, I hope you well, Faye. You got Earl Grey too. It's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those. It's like 2 results. Yeah, of course, Atheline. You picked completely different things that I picked, and yet got the same result because this is the BuzzFeed quiz. But it's fun because it's a nice, fun conversation. We get to talk about stuff for a bit. Rouet boss. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Red Mage, for educating me. Someone who doesn't need to be educated is probably Squidge because she's for 9,000. So literally red bush tea. There you go. This is the month, is it? Thank you, Squidge, for the flex. Let me that was not very educational in terms of the quiz itself, but we got to learn stuff. You got to educate me. I got to educate you guys. We got to talk about stuff, and most importantly, food, as obviously that is the most important of all. But thank you for the flex there, Squidge. I appreciate it. How are you doing there? Let me see. Where are we at? 97 flexes. No one has. Oh my God, Squidge, that is incredible. She's almost at her goal of 100. And then what are we going to do? What's going to happen? I don't know. Oh, did you, Heather? How did you find it? I don't remember it. Looking forward to it. It's scientifically accurate. Is that right, Af? I don't know about that. Anyway, thank you for the lurk, Squidge. Yes, do some work and feed Boris and make some dinner and maybe don't do some work, but do whatever you need to do, Squidge. Thank you, my dear. Oh, the #1 flexer of all time. How long will that last? Wolf has told me there will come a time where you will be, you know, you'll be a forgotten memory in the shadow of his glory. But we shall see about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's not how he worded it, Squidge. That was me embellishing a little bit. No, he was far more friendly about it than that. I think he just said, I'm going to put all my channel points into flexing, and I'm not going to stop. I think that's all he actually said. I don't think he was trying to start a fight with you, Squidge. It wasn't like that at all. That's just how I would say it if it was me. Exactly. It's exactly how it is happening. You're not flexing there. The raffle ticket, Lolo. So, for, it's probably doing about a year now, have we, guys? So basically, Lolo, rather than me choosing random games, as you saw at the start of this channel, I was like, let me stream this, let me stream that. Because I'm very blessed with the support of some of these wonderful people here. I actually have a Patreon set up. And essentially the hook of that Patreon is if people choose to support on there, what they get back from that is they essentially get to choose what we do on this channel in terms of what games we play and cover. So I don't make any decisions anymore. Obviously, I can veto stuff. I'm not playing stuff that I've just got no interest in. But it's very flexible. And obviously, I can't play games that I just don't own. That's obviously, I can't make any guarantees of what I can get access to. We have a lot of access to a lot of stuff. That's basically the hook of it. And we have like a voting system. So everybody can put their votes in and we just do things in order as they come up. One of, what is this?
Dragon King Slice.
Cutting it up, Heather. Thank you, my dear. And thank you for the raffle ticket as well. No, Lolo. Lolo Liamaru Chun Chun. Atheline. Yeah. So I just call him Lolo. Not Rollo. Lolo. Or you can just refer to him as the Challenger. So that is what he is known as on Twitch. But yes, yes, Lolo. So one of my patrons is actually bloody legend. Was like, because we didn't have too many people at the beginning, and he was concerned. He was like, "Hey, it'd be cool if we got more people in here. Is like voting on this. How about I double my Patreon pledge, and then we just get somebody else in here for free, so they don't have to pay anything. I'll pay for them." And then they can get in here and start voting. I was like, dude, that is fucking amazing. You don't need to do that. I will gladly accept that. You're an absolute ledge. Thank you. And then I said to him, well, how about, rather than me just picking someone randomly or you picking someone randomly, how about we do a monthly raffle? And that has been running for most of this year, about a year now. So the way the raffle works, though, is basically you can buy tickets with channel points, as Heather is just on there. The first stream of every month, we do a draw live, and then the winner of that raffle basically gets Patreon benefits for free. So it's just a way to include everybody, because not everybody has the same level of disposable income. I'm very blessed there are people here who have some spare disposable income that they want to sling my way to keep me doing this and keep the channel going. But there's people here who would love to do that, but sorry, I'm fucking broke, like you are. Yeah. I love the channel. I love what you're doing here. I want to take part. I want to be part of the community. I'd love it is if you played, Mario Land 2 or Metal Gear Solid or Fallout 4 or Fortnite or whatever, anything. But yeah, I can't, so there you go. Where you get channel points for free. cash those channel points in, get a raffle ticket, win the raffle, and then I'll play whatever game you want. James! Sorry to keep you waiting there, James. You know me, buddy. I'm just in a rant. How you doing, bro? You well, James? I hope you are, sir. You seemed like you were a bit kind of not really feeling it last time we spoke, buddy. Is that true? Are you well? Yeah, I remember. So I assume you don't play 14 anymore, Olo. But anyway, you got those Asian ears. Yeah, that's fine. We don't judge people's ears here, Atheline. It's not a problem. Yeah, yeah, Ryan is, and to be fair, Atheline has also done that, so we had doubled up the prizes. But Faye, thank you. Nah. Yeah, that is probably a game I would veto. If someone was like, Ears, I'd really love to see you play Final Fantasy IV, and I was like, do you really want to see that? And what am I even supposed to do in that? Load up my old character and just wander around not knowing what the fuck is going on? The funny thing is, Lolo, when we played it, when I was playing with you a couple of years, like 3 years ago, and I played it, so I guess it was like probably 3.5 years, where probably like 4 years ago when I kind of got the idea in my head and got this PC literally to play Final Fantasy 14. I was trying to convince my brother to play it with us. Play it with me. I was like, oh, look at this, Final Fantasy 14. You'd love this, Iznib's bro. And he was like, I don't know. Not consequently, but ironically, probably about maybe a year after I stopped playing Lolo and got, and I was like a year into my stream, he was like, I wonder what that Final Fantasy 14's like. So then he started playing it, and he has now played it more than I ever did, and he like runs end game stuff with his like buddies like frequently. It's his main game he plays. And I'm like, your time was off, bro. But like, he's enjoying it. I had my fill of it. Here we are. Anyway, sorry, let me get this raffle ticket sorted out. So Heather, extra one for you. You're now on 12. Let's get Phase on here. Nine for Feifu. Excellent. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. So we're about 14th, Monday the 14th of August, apparently. I don't know about that. So our raffle draw should be, I don't see any reason why not, Friday the 1st of September. We do that at the start of the stream, which is basically now, or depending on when I start and how many quizzes or whatever else we're doing. You don't, obviously where it's live, anyone has tickets, you don't need to be here. You can go back and watch the VOD if you're like, oh, was that Iznib? Did he do it proper? Yes, I do it proper. Of course, any discrepancies should be, any potential shenanigans should be directed to Legion Cage. He has already bought tickets this month. In fact, he has more than anybody currently. He has 18. That basically means he is guaranteed to win both prizes. Because he is scum. So, have a word with Legion Cage. Yeah, he just wins everything. He just wins. He's just won life. The irony, he said, was... he said to me, Af, he's like, I'll never win anything. And now all I do is win your raffle over and over again. And I was like, well... I was like, I'd ask for a refund if I was you, Cage. At that point. Yeah, just give up. Yeah, exactly, Heather. Appropriate little email. You did. And Heather has already leveraged her votes. Yeah, actually, I thought about this the other day, Af. And and I guess I can ask you guys, but this would be mostly up to anyone who is currently a producer or a producer at the time. So I started the Lone Wolf book series, a little read through. Atheline was kind enough to make a little character sheet for us. Thank you, Af. And with me reading the books and Cage being the player, taking the role of Lone Wolf, making all the decisions. And we had a few ups and downs. Sometimes we could not finish a whole book in one go. And book 2 gave us a bit of grief because it required you to. It's basically like a instant death situation where if you hadn't picked up a certain item at a certain point, you just can't complete the book. And it's that. I think that's an oversight, and I think that's very much removed from the rest of the series. Anyway, it's been a good couple of months since we've done any of those. I know some of you probably didn't give a shit about it. I enjoyed it. Cage said he enjoyed it. Atheline is an advocate of it, at least. And I think maybe a few other people were into it. But obviously with Cage's schedule, now I think he still wants to do it, but the question, of course, is how long do we wait for it to... Yeah, you voted for it, Af, yeah. How long do we wait until... I mean, if we're waiting on Cage, and this is not Cage's fault, this is just schedules and work and stuff, we wait forever. So if you're a producer and you're here, and obviously everyone's entitled to opinion, even if you're not, but that's, you know, what would you like to see going forward? Obviously, option A is... Well, you know, we wait indefinitely for Cage. Whether we, you know, it takes, you know, whether we get back on it a couple of months from now, or whether it takes us like 10 to 20 years to get back to it. It doesn't matter, because we signed up with, you know, Lone Cage, and, you know, that's what we'll do. We just continue onwards from there. If and when it ever comes to pass. Other options would be, like, you know, people want to see this. We can't accommodate Cage's schedule. Or I change it up and we stream it at the weekend or something like that when he is available. Yeah, I guess option B would be we do it kind of off schedule. It still gets done, but we go out of our way to accommodate Cage. So I guess it would be something at a weekend. Even if you have time at weekends, I don't know. Option C, I guess, would be... Okay, I slot it back into the rotation on the channel, and I just do it solo. I just read the book. I obviously can't make decisions, because that kind of defeats the object of it. I would, you know, that is kind of the easiest in a way, but I do need kind of like at least one person active in chat engaging with it, because then otherwise it's like the whole exercise is literally pointless. Option D is we get somebody else to step in and step up and essentially replace Cage. You know, not because they would necessarily be better than him, but they're actually more available. Yeah, the real Lone Wolf would quit his job and save the world, just saying. Yeah, so anyway, we don't need to stress it at the minute, but think about it. And Atheline, I don't want you to think that I'd forgotten about it, because I definitely hadn't. But we have to make a decision one way or another. Anyone will be better than Cage, obviously. Lol. So what it is, Heather, I don't know if you read, because I know you like loads of geek stuff. I don't know if you ever read these as a kid, or you had them around, or if, you know, or if your daughter or anybody like had them, or if you're aware of them. But even if you weren't, I'm sure you would have liked them and enjoyed them. They're called, mostly referred to as fighting fantasy books, or choose your own adventure. It's a very basic kind of story, and I think there was other series that did them as well. But it's like, it's like a relatively basic fantasy story, and it's like, you walk down the road and you see a goblin. What do you want to do? Do you want to fight him? Turn to page 20. If you want to dive into the bushes and hide from him, turn to page 50. And you choose what you want the character in the story to do. Turn into the different page sections, and you just read the story. And Lone Wolf is a particular series of that genre of books. I was obsessed with them and that series in particular as a kid. I absolutely loved them. And so basically, we basically kind of did them on stream, where I would read the book, and we had Legion Cage in here taking the role of the protagonist. So I read the story, but he made all the decisions. With some help from chat, they might weigh in and be like, "Hey, Cage, you should do this." Yeah, you guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Heather. That, yeah, option E, Sky, yes. We don't worry about having Cage do all 20 books. He's done the first 4 with us. God bless him, thank you. And he said he enjoyed it. I would be perfectly fine if he said, no, actually, that's a waste of my time, is. He doesn't have to pretend he had fun if he, if he, you know. But yeah, that's option E, of course, would be to get a new person in, but don't stick to one new person. Have various people step in if they want to, and just keep it going like that. And it's kind of like a baton race, like a relay race. Like, I've done this book, I've done book 5, I'll pass it on to you for book 6, who passes it on to somebody else for book 7. Of course, availability and willingness and desire to do that. But that would be your choice, Sky. And then also, of course, that doesn't preclude Cage himself stepping back in at a later date of convenience. But yeah, for yourself, think on it, Af, what you would be the, you know, ideal thing that you would like to see, and anybody else who feels strongly about it, you know, also let me know, because it was something that was voted on, and it was something that I would like to finish. Like I say, we've done 4 books with Cage. The main series is 20 books, but you know, we can do a whole book per stream with time to spare to dive back into whatever game we're playing. And it certainly wouldn't be us trying to blast through it and do like 1 book every single stream. You know, we're not doing 5 books a week. It'd probably be like once a week, maybe even less kind of thing. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Athaline, and I appreciate you enjoyed it. So it would be cool to finish it for sure. I mean, there are even more books after the main series. I think I've even got all the scenes made for them down here in my OBS. Yeah, I've got up to 28. There's actually 8 books after the main series, which we could do as one-offs or whatever. But yeah, everyone ruminate on it for the time being, and we'll get back to it. But yeah, Lolo, sorry to keep you waiting there on your final comment. Nobody here, because everyone's heard me say this a million times before, but nobody. I am just honoured that anybody wants to give me their time. I do not expect or ask for any money out of anybody. Obviously, everybody's well aware that this is what I'm here to do. I make a little bit of money doing this, thanks to the wonderful donations of some of our regulars, and that does literally help pay my rent and feed me. So thank you very much, kindly. I appreciate it very much. But I never want to have any expectations on anybody. Nothing would change on this channel if every single person cancelled the Patreon pledge, cancelled their sub on Twitch, and was just like, "Hey, how you doing? We know you've got no money, but keep doing the stream." And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's cool. Let's keep doing it. I don't give a shit." I'm just honoured to have anybody here. Now, obviously, as I was saying earlier, different people have different amounts of disposable income and different things I want to do that. Some people have like a crazy amount of disposable income, and don't want to give it to people on Twitch. And then other people don't have that much disposable income, but actually do feel that's a worthy use of it. Everyone's different, everyone's situation is different, and nobody should be judging anybody else for that, of what they want to do with their hard-earned money or ill-gotten gains, depending on who you are and what you're doing. And again, we shouldn't be judging that either. Except for Cage, of course, Athaline. Cage, bad guy. No. But yeah, I'm just honoured to have people here. So, Lolo, I'm just pleased to speak to you, buddy. You don't need to worry about what slinging money my way. Just, you know, stop and occasionally say hello if you want to. I just want you to live your best life, young sir, whatever you choose to do. Faye!
Dragon King Slice!
Ooh, Faye cutting me up. Ooh. Calm down, Faye. Whew. Get me going. Thank you, my dear. 100 bitties. Not necessary. Never necessary. I'm just honoured to have you here. Just pleased to know you and talk to you. Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad you're doing all right, Lolo. I'm glad, you know, things might not be perfect. Life is very rarely ever perfect. But yet here we are. And things could always be better, but things could always be worse. You just got to take everything day by day and keep pushing forwards. And if there's things you want to do, you should definitely try and go and do them. Whether it's in your professional, personal life or hobbies or whatever you want to do. But also don't feel the stress of doing it either, Lolo. If you know, you said earlier, you're like, oh, there's things I want to do, but I'm too lazy. Well, you know, I don't recommend that. I think you should, you know, go do those things. Also, if you don't want to, don't either. You know, do whatever you want to. Nobody in this life can tell you what you should be doing. But just, you know, just enjoy yourself. Try to live without regrets. I would never even consider or never deign to tell you what to do, Faithy. In fact, you know, I would, you know, you could tell me what to do, honestly. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed your lunch break. No, I wouldn't dream of it, James. I would never dream of it. But yes, you have a wonderful day, and we will enjoy our stream. Thank you, Faye. You take care, my dear. Yeah, it can be a motivator, Lolo. If you're under stress to do something, it can help with productivity, and there are ways to there are definitely ways to counter stress for sure, which you should try and do and such. But life is just this big weird thing that nobody knows what it is, and we're all just going along with it. I don't know. I think the most important thing is just not live without regrets. It'd be a shame, Lolo, if you had things you wanted to achieve. 10 years from now, you look back and you go, oh, I wish I'd done those things I never did because I just couldn't be bothered at the time. And now I regret it. I really wish I'd pushed myself and motivated myself. But likewise, the opposite could be. You know, you could force yourself to do things now, and then you, like, put yourself under unnecessary pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of hassle, and then you look back and go, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have put myself in that situation because it's made things worse for myself now. Yeah, Lolo, if you've got free time on your hands and you find it's even a small part of you that goes, should I stream? Yeah, just give it a go. That's my advice to everybody. Give it a go. You might love it. You might like it. You might get something out of it. My advice, if you think about it, download a program called OBS. This is what I'm running the stream on. Open broadcasting software. It's completely free. It's open source as well, so there's people always working on it. It takes a bit to get used to, but once you do, is perfectly makes sense. Very, very useful program. Look into that. Obviously, you need to get set up on Twitch. If you want to try Twitch, there obviously you've got Kick, you've got YouTube, you've got Facebook streaming, all options. I think there's a few others out there. I can't speak to those because I only ever streamed on Twitch. But streaming in general, if you need any advice, technical or otherwise, let me know. I'll answer any questions. I'm obviously not an expert, but I have been doing it full time for 3 years, almost 3 years now. So I guess I know like a few things, not what to do. Even if I don't know what to do. Bark! How you doing, Bark? Slick Mick! How you doing, bro? Bark, to answer your question, do I think you could stream? So I think you should stream. Nah. I don't. I think everybody should stream. But not Bark. I don't think Bark should. I hope you are, Buck. Buck is a wonderful streamer. One of the best. Hmm. Yeah. Don't dwell on the past, Lolo. It's what it is. If I dwell on the past, I look back and think, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. I regret this. I regret that. But now, the older I get, the less I kind of. That's already done. It's literally done. I can think about how I would have done things differently, or could have done things differently, or should have. It's a waste of time and energy because you can't actually change it. So, you know. But yeah, you let me know, Lolo. The only thing I would say is just go into it with good expectations. I know you're not, you're a smart young guy, so you're not going to go into... I've seen people who have started streaming because they've got kind of caught up with the hype. Struggle to get any kind of traction, get any like kind of regular viewers. And then they go, fuck streaming. Streaming is bullshit. This is... And they kind of... Or I've even seen people like have like entitlement with it. Like, people should watch my stream. My stream is so amazing. People should watch it. It's ridiculous. Nobody's watching my stream. And it's like, nobody owes you anything. And you should always maintain a good attitude about it and realistic expectations. The best thing to do if you're going to give it a go. I was talking to Travis about this the other day. Is enjoy it. Just think of it literally as, are you playing a video game? Or you being an artist, Lolo, maybe you could use that as a motivator. Because I know you're a good artist and you want to do art and stuff, and sometimes you don't feel the motivation. If you live stream it, then you don't have any choice. My brother recently joined a local gym, and he feels he gets better workouts there because there's less distractions. At home, he might be working out, and he's like, oh, something catches his eye, and he's like, oh, let me just check this on the internet, or look at my phone for a minute, or something. But if he goes to the gym, he doesn't know anybody there. He doesn't particularly want to be there with like random strangers in a sweaty, dirty gym. So he's like, I'll get in there, do my workout real quick, and then I'll get out because there's nothing else to do there. I've got no distractions. I'm just getting on and doing my workout. So maybe, and I've suggested this to other artists as well. Like if you sit down and you're like, oh, I've got to do some art, and then you're like, oh, let me just have a look on what's on the internet for a second. Let me just watch this YouTube video really quick. But if you're live streaming it, you might have people turning up to watch you and talk to you. So you're like, oh, well, I better fucking do some art now. Because, like, there's people watching. So, yeah. But, yeah, the most important thing, you have to enjoy it. But from a video game sense, which is obviously 90% plus of Twitch streaming is certainly, is look at it like this. If you're a brand new streamer, you enjoy playing video games off stream on your own, right? So it should be exactly the same. There should be no less enjoyment. You should be, getting on with your video game, playing it and enjoying it. And if any random people in the world find your stream and they stop in to say hello and you can have a conversation with them, that is cool and awesome. But if they don't and you're streaming to yourself, then that should also be fine. I think a lot of streamers go, oh, I just streamed to no viewers. This is bullshit. And it's like, well, if you're going to be discouraged by doing that, maybe streaming is not for you. What are you not caring about now, Bark? Who's staying at Holiday Inn, Sleep Make? I'm going to stream even harder. I want you to stream harder than anybody who's ever streamed. I want you to give it to the entirety of Twitch as hard as you can, Bark. Happily. Yeah, you can't hurt Bark, which is good because you did the dishes. I'm only jibber jabbering because these people insist that I do. Okay, we will be getting on with Baldur's Gate 3 today. 5:30. I'm going to step out and make coffee in a minute. But we've done almost 3 hours just chatting. It's Monday. Obviously, there's a lot of catching up to do. Right, exactly. Because here's the thing, Lola, I know it's entitled to anything, and it is a lot of it is luck. Because it's very hard to kind of this discoverability and for people to actually find your channel. All these people who are here, it's just random sheer luck that they found this channel and thought, oh, this Iznib guy, he's kind of weird and cool, so let me hang around for a bit. And then here we are. They could have, it's just pure luck that I know any of these people, and I'm blessed to know them all. But aside from the luck factor, you're right, Lolo, you have to address this, of course. If you just put out a stream and you go, oh yeah, this is good enough. And I lean into the jank, for sure. I'm a very janky guy, and we just, we do technical troubleshooting on stream and stuff like that. And I turn up late and I'm like, hey, I don't give a shit. But that's kind of like part of my brand now. Brand, I don't know the term, but that's what I'm kind of known for. It is what it is. But like, for example, if you're streaming and you're maybe not that talkative or maybe not that interesting, you can't expect people to be interested in you. I guess that's the point. And some people do. They go, well, I exist, so therefore I'm interesting. Well, yeah, have you got some natural talent? Have you got something important to say? Are you engaging with people? For yourself, Lolo, again, you do whatever you want to do for your stream, but doing something different that's not video games, that's art. People do very much like art streams. They do want to see good artists, whether they are good artists themselves or whether they, like me, completely suck at art and they want to see someone do some, skillful artwork. That's definitely very appealing. But you're right. You have to. You can't just turn up and expect to be liked and expect to be appreciated. You have to put something out into the universe that has a value. And you can't be the one, here's the crux of it. I can't just turn up here and say, Iznib Show, this is valuable. It might be valuable to me, but it's not for me to say that it's valuable to anybody else. Everyone has to decide it for themselves. If every single other person in the world says, that Iznib Show and that Iznib guy, that's shit, that's bullshit. I can't sit over here and cry about it and say, no, it's really good, everyone else is wrong. No, it's a meritocracy. If I don't get to decide if it's good, you guys get to decide if it's good. That's simple as. And I think a lot of streamers, Lolo, they start and they get very frustrated because they're like, they really feel like they're putting something out good, and they may be, but they're just not getting any traction. They feel like they are not appreciated, and they get very frustrated and disillusioned with it. It's a bit of a pitfall, which should definitely be avoided. And which you can avoid that by just before you start, go into it with the correct attitude. And maybe you don't enjoy it, or maybe nothing comes, or you do enjoy it, but nothing comes of it. As long as you're realistic about what it is. That's it. But yeah, I hope that answered, gave you some of my opinions on that, Lolly. If you have any specific questions, do not hesitate. You ask now, or you can message me on Discord anytime. No, Bark, we don't play video games here. What are you talking about, Bark? Yeah, Cage, I will say this, while you were gone doing the dishes, Athlene's been very, very mean to you. So, I mean, feel free to be mean back to her. I think it's more like an affectionate meanness. Much like how Bark treats everybody. But it has been quite the rant. It was punctuated in the middle by a very long, lengthy quiz, Bark. So I'm sure he would have finished up the Just Chatting by now, like probably about 2 hours ago, if it wasn't for that. Yeah, the 6-question quiz took put it this way, Bark, the quiz timed out on the website. It was like, oops, you've been doing this quiz for far too long. You must not be here anymore. You're the AFK. So we are going to force this quiz to be over. I was like, no. Look, BuzzFeed, you may not take your quizzes seriously, but I was. So seriously, we had to discuss the answers for very, very lengthy amounts of time. Okay? So, sit back down. BuzzFeed, you're drunk, alright? Made up of only pictures. I mean, I think you know how I function by now, Af. It was a very important in-depth quiz. It was extremely meaningful multiple choice picture quiz with 6 questions and only 4 picture choices for each question. But it was very important, Af, okay? Oh, yeah, we were... Paige, yes. To feel to discuss, I need to step out for a minute, and I probably will take our midstream break right now, because this is how long we've been just chatting. Atheline was asking about Lone Wolf, and we weren't talking about you, but we also were talking about you. We didn't say anything mean, we said only nice things. But I was just... Atheline was just questioning when it was going to come back up, and obviously I said, well, I would love to get back to it, but... obviously with your schedule and my schedule, it's very tricky. So we've got to balance the question between, do we wait indefinitely and it may never manifest, or do we change things up and take steps to move it along? And we were just discussing some of the possible options. Yeah, exactly. If you pay Lone Wolf's bills from his quit job, I'm sure Lone Wolf will be very happy with that, Atheline. Yeah, don't worry about that. I don't want you to even think about it, Cage. I want you to just take care of yourself and Veronica, buddy. You just, whatever you need to do to sort your own life out. Just, yeah, so as you don't know, Cage got a new job. God, how long has it been now, Cage? 1.5 years, 2 years? Has it been that long? Twitch time is ridiculous. But anyway, it started and Cage was like, this job is fucking cool. And much like all fucking cool jobs, not all, but many, after you've been there a year, they devolve into utter bullshit where you're taken advantage of and you're not appreciated. And unfortunately, Cage's job has got to that point, to the point that he's like actively trying to find something else. So, yeah. 2 years, it's been that long. There, and you got that promotion, went to 3rd shift. So if you were not on 3rd shift and you were not promoted, would it still be good? Probably not, from what you told me, Cage, from the bullshit. But look, Cage is a strong gentleman. He will survive. We see. Maybe that's the best thing to do for the time being. Maybe just give it a bit more time, Af. But one of the options, Cage, that Scotty was publicly voted for, he was like, this is what we should do, was to get other people in, but like get different people in, multiple people. But the only problem with that, of course, Scotty, is who would even want to do it? Maybe most people are like, I don't care about this. I don't even care about it enough to want to listen to it, let alone actually take part in it. Right. So you, in retrospect, Cage, would you be happier there if you'd not taken the promotion and you're still on 2nd shift? Bless you, Cage. Whatever you decide. You never know until you ask. Well, I guess I was publicly asking at the time, Scotty. I know you could step in because you're very happy to have conversations on stream anyway, with me certainly, because we get along so well. But I know that you're not particularly into like fantasy stuff in general, or and you never played Dungeons and Dragons or anything similar. Which actually I think you'd be pretty good at it. I think you'd be very good in either role of Dungeons and Dragons. But obviously he's like, what fantasy? What? Basically, Scotty was trying to get you fired from your position as Lone Wolf. Basically, Cage. Anyway, guys. Shit. Without the breaking things. Joho! How you doing? All right then, bro. What's going on? Yeah. Scotty would be a great GM. Or a great player of Dungeons and Dragons. No doubt. Because he's a great storyteller. He's obviously very thoughtful. And analytical of situations and stuff. He would be great in either role. But obviously his kind of I guess lack of knowledge, or just lack of general interest would be about fantasy stuff. He's like, I don't give a fuck about this. Would kind of hold him back a little bit. You know what you should do, Scotty? you should set up a Star Trek RPG game. How about that, sir? What do you think about that? I could help you set that up. I say relatively easily in terms of the technical things, but there'd be like a lot of discussion and legwork. But anyway, no, I'll break whatever I want. Yeah. But if you did something like that, Scotty, would you want to be a player in that setting, or would you want to like be the game master? Anyway, think about it. Joe Amnesty wants to do Doctor Who. Yeah, no doubt. That's obviously very ripe. I assume you'd have the players as kind of like maybe the Doctor's assistants, helping him do stuff, whizzing around the multiverse. That would be pretty cool. But anyway, Joe, how you doing, buddy? Are you well? I hope that you are. I hope the fam's good as well. Yeah, I mean, I could help you set up the technical side of things. I think I've got a specific Star Trek GURPS book. GURPS is my favorite system, just because it kind of could cover everything. It'd be hard, for example, to take, say, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and make it into Star Trek, I imagine. That is the beauty of GURPS. Some people don't like GURPS because of how universal it is, but I can, if that's something that appeals to you, Scotty, I can certainly help you out with that. Because I know as a storyteller, and as someone who is deeply invested in Star Trek lore, that would be definitely something that would appeal to you. In fact, I might send you the PDF of the Star Trek book, just to, you won't obviously understanding the rules and stuff they're talking about, but using that as the foundation for, like, that's the thing that I would use, like the source book for if I wanted to run like a Star Trek D&D, it's a Star Trek tabletop game with my limited knowledge of Star Trek. That's like what I would use as reference to get stuff set up, basically. So you would probably look at it, I fucking know all this already. But it could be a good reference for you to be like, okay, to get an idea of what kind of information a games master like needs at their disposal to be like, oh, okay, and give you like ideas of like, again, you're a good storyteller anyway, but of like maybe how to structure a campaign or a specific setting about what you would want to do. But as the storyteller that I know you to be, Scotty, it could be like become your new favorite thing. But I know you're a very busy man, but we'll think about it. But yeah, get out of the busy season at work, and we'll get back to it. Joe, does it have the Doctor Who thing have its own tabletop system? That's pretty cool. It wouldn't surprise me because you can. Hey. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate you. I hope everything is well. Yeah, fucking maths. Yeah, you can chop it down as much as you want, but yeah, I do like it. I am into it. What are you going on about, Cage? Making crazy noises. Right, I would feel that you would. I don't know how Amnesty would want to do it, or how the source books for that present the setting, but I would feel that nobody would play the Doctor, right? I would assume that the Doctor is such a enigmatic and powerful figure that you wouldn't want any of the players playing as the Doctor. But then again, I don't know. That's me just making assumptions. Very interesting. Yeah, that makes sense to me, Joe. It's yeah, you'd obviously have the Doctor as the main focus, whether you're working directly for him or just kind of encountering him or whatever is going on in his universe. But I couldn't imagine it would make sense to have a player be the Doctor, because I don't know, it could while out very easily. Of course you've got all the different Doctors and all different timelines. Fascinating. Anyway, guys, we're like halfway through the stream. We're not even done anything with 3 hours of ranting and raving. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it greatly. I will step out for 3 minutes to make coffee. We will get back, and then we might, maybe, keep our fingers crossed, get into Baldur's Gate 3. But we don't have to as well. We can do whatever you want. Anyway, I'll be right back in a few. Right. Sorry to keep you waiting there, folks. Heather, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. Right. Onwards. Thank you. Thank you, Lola. I appreciate that. I assume we have covered everything. Is there anything you need to ask me? I need to let you know about. You've been waiting all stream. I've been keeping you waiting 3 hours to do something other than my stupid sounds coming out of my stupid face. But don't pretend it's not your favourite thing on the whole internet. But no, that's not even true. I was about to say on Twitch. Don't pretend you don't like it, Buck. Get on your bike. Absolutely. So, Baldur's Gate 3, that is the game we are playing at the minute, talking about Dungeons & Dragons. A fantastic game. There's been a few moments I've struggled with it. Like, I've maybe bitten off more than I can chew in combat and got my ass handed to me. I don't feel my combat tactics are necessarily not good. Like, I feel like I'm making some relatively the best decisions in combat. But I wonder if it's just that is the difficulty that the game wants you to play it at, and maybe some encounters could have been easier had I had like different party compositions with the members. Because I've just kind of been like, rotating them all out randomly as I felt it was necessary for what we were doing in terms of like story stuff. But yeah, well, I mean, we're getting there. We're definitely making progress. I think we're all level 4 now, or going on level 5. Maybe they all hit level 5. I don't know. Not far off. All sorts of revelations. Brief recap. Gale. He has some weird magical entity orb shard thing that resides within him, which needs to be fed magical items occasionally. If it does not, he will explode with the force of essentially a nuclear bomb. So he will die, we will all die, and anything within a couple of mile radius of him will also die. That's a problem. He has no leads or clues on how we can help him remove that effect. So if we're keeping him with us, which we should for sure, we need to constantly feed him a supply of magical items until we can resolve that. So obviously I would like to resolve that. I assume there will be a way to help him. We need to resolve that sooner rather than later. Will, we finally caught up with Karlak, who he was trying to kill. And then when we came across her, he was like, oh, actually, I convinced him. And he's a sensible guy as well, usually. He's quite perceptive. He was like, oh, actually, she's not this crazy monster that I've been sent to kill. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Let me, you can just join us and be our friend. Now, later on, the person who, because Will's a warlock, if anyone's familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, that means they are wizards, mages who get their power not from study, like a wizard, and not from natural-born gifts, like a sorcerer, but from essentially you make a pact with some powerful entity. Could be a demon, could be an angel, could be an elder god. I don't know whatever else it could be. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, so Will's a warlock who his pact is with some kind of devil demon lady. And she told him to kill Karlak, and because he didn't, she turned up and was like, fuck you, Will, you're my bitch. You do what you say, and if you don't, you're going to get punished. And she turned him into a devil also. So he doesn't have the tail, but he does have the horns. And he kind of took it on the chin very well. He was like, oh, well, this sucks. Never mind, at least I did the right thing. I'm like, well, respect you, sir. He's a man of principle. And is willing to sacrifice himself or whatever else for his principles and his ideals. So I can't see how you can't respect that. Karlak herself is a demon lady, a tiefling from the hells, incredible warrior, a berserker, a barbarian berserker. She has a bit of an issue that she has got some kind of mechanical heart, which we need to kind of fix and maintain to keep her from going crazy and or setting on fire and or setting everything else around her on fire. Aside from that, she's got like a very happy-go-lucky attitude. Obviously, she's got a lot of anger and issues about being forced to be a warrior for people she didn't like. Zariel, who is still after her, apparently, according to... God, I can't remember her name. I cannot remember. Will's patron, and as the demon lady. So aside from that, but she seems quite the badass. She's like, yeah, look, just let's go into action and just kill everything. Lae'zel herself, bad attitude Githyanki lady, who is actually kind of badass herself, is really rather admiring of her, and is like, oh wow, yeah, she's awesome. Look at her go. Who's getting argy-bargy with who? Don't do that, Bark. We're best buddies. Removes Gale from the party. Yeah. I mean, that was an option, Bark. You could just say... You could have just missed him, like, earlier, but there was the option later on. He's like, even when you find out what his issue is, that he's a walking time bomb. He's like, I understand if you want me to go. And there's an option like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, I don't want you exploding anywhere near me. Go away. I want nothing to do with you anymore. But I didn't, because I'm a nice guy, and we're playing Orc Nib as a nice guy. So that's about where we're at. We dealt with the paladins that were following Karlach. We've had the tiefling blacksmith armorer guy kind of like have a look at her heart and tune it up a bit. And we also found out the special iron coins we found, the soul coins, she can use them in combat to like superpower herself, go Super Saiyan for the combat, I guess. I'm inclined to just hang on to those until I feel they're necessary. And we continue doing a bit of exploring. We still have two main thrusts of the quest is head into the goblin camp and deal with the goblins. Probably kill them all, or have come to some kind of arrangement with them. Probably end up devolving to combat, I assume. And see if they have the head druid Halsin as captive, and see if we cannot rescue him. That would be a good idea, if possible. He may be able to help us with our worm eye parasite things, or maybe not. And the other main lead, which seems the most promising of all our leads, is Lae'zel has directed us. She says if we get to a Githyanki creche, wherever exactly that is, they will be able to remove the mind flayer parasites. Not a problem. And she'll put in a word for all of us, so they'll help all of us. And that's okay. If you say so. You seem very sure of yourself, Lae'zel, so that I'll trust you on this. As we've got the last known location of a Githyanki patrol. So that is what we're the first thing we're doing. We're heading right over there with her, trying to find this Githyanki patrol and be like, hey, folks, where's the creche? Can you send us there? It may be a dead-end lead, or it may somehow backfire. Welcome back, Heather. I don't know. But we have to get these bloody parasites out of our head. If it doesn't pan out, then I guess we're back to Halsin. If that doesn't pan out, then, of course, we've got the final. Raphael, the Demon Lord, has basically said, hey, I'll remove those parasites for you. And I don't doubt that he can. He's this powerful. But he's like, for the small, small price of your soul. All right, buddy, I'm not selling my soul to you. I want to keep that. I'll sell my arms. I'll sell my left nut before I sell you my soul, bro. I'll turn Mind Flayer before I sell you my soul. At least I'll, you know, I might be a Mind Flayer, but at least I'll have a soul still. Yeah. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I think I've said everything I need to say about it. Let us finally get into the game. We have 3 hours today. We can. 3 hours is. It's not very long in terms of this game, but we can play a bit. Here we go. What else we got here? I need to change our category here. Actually, one thing I will do. I'll stop the